Alrighty, we are back. We're going to go straight into our interview today because we had to work earlier today, so we had to push our live an hour later than normal.
But nevertheless, we are here.
Yeah.
We are queer. Mm-hmm. And I know Mr. Belvedere.
Panda said, you are allowed to use this line. Sam will hold dinner if you don't answer. Did you hear that, Leah?
Yeah, sorry. The sound's coming twice. Why? Hang on.
She's having a hard time over there.
She looks confused.
Panda, you come and rescue her, Panda.
Is he even around?
Yes, he is. Yeah. He was home.
Help has arrived.
Okay, what's going on? What's wrong with the sound?
What's she done?
What's she done?
She added a second one, but I deleted her second one, so I don't know if maybe she pushed other buttons there that she wasn't supposed to. He's like, what have she done?
Hello. Can you believe it?
Hello.
That working? Hey, 1 2 1 2. Yeah, that's
yep.
there we go.
There we go.
We hear you. look at Leah. She's like freaking out.
She got Dragon Age. I didn't look at it yet. It's free.
Did you download it?
Are you good now?
It's in the library. You better hurry up and
I
get it
think
before it
so,
goes.
yeah.
Okay. She's good now.
Did you see Wabbit? Wabbit says it's the universal look of a fart.
It's the universal look of a fart.
That's the look of someone that farted.
Yeah, shit themselves.
She was looking very, very, very nervous there.
Charticle droppings. What? All over. Leah, have you ever shit yourself as a woman?
Go
Yes.
on, tell us.
Yes.
You have. You have. Okay.
I'm sure it was
okay.
Panda.
Wait. We
Panda
can't
already-
start the interview like this.
Oh my
Why,
God.
damn it.
Check her pants.
Panda already has a question. Jesus, why does she snore in my face every night? We'll stop looking at her face.
Okay, hold on. Crazy Rabbit used to be a retired nurse, so we have to put this in the professionals' hands. Rabbit,
Oh, geez.
glove up, get your PPE on, and check her pants.
Sam, just stand
What?
by.
We just need a professional to see if this
she
woman has
actually
truly.
shat herself.
Oh,
I haven't now. And get off me.
Coming up.
Oh.
Hang on, sorry. There's something is not quite right. There we go. Mic volume.
Oh.
It's because we swapped over to her profile. It's not got any of my settings.
I don't understand.
Mm.
I was just trying to buy some tickets to the Bastille and then I broke the computer. Yeah.
Crazy Rabbit said he needs to get permission from Panda.
Oh,
Panda will give permission. Don't worry.
I don't know.
Don't you worry. All right, you guys ready? Are you ready to say your thing? Do your thing, mister?
I am.
Well,
What are we saying? What are we doing?
what
we're
do you,
doing
what do
some-
you
Oh,
always do?
yes. Welcome back to the podcast.
yes. There we
And today we have Leah the Panda Tamer.
I didn't know that was a thing.
The Panda Wrangler.
The Panda Wrangler. She saves the family from being one big fucking embarrassment.
You're right. Yeah.
Welcome on to the show, Leah.
Thank you.
Are you nervous?
A little bit.
What?
I
But
love
why?
how now she's hiding behind
Yeah,
it.
she's trying to hide behind that big ass fucking.
For why? For why are you nervous?
Hold one of the stuffed pandas and pretend it's Sam, and every time you get nervous, just hit it.
Squeeze it.
Yeah.
Squeeze
You
it.
mean like
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. You should have wore like some sort of zookeeper outfit, you know, like
Oh my God,
you
with the
shoulda
hat.
really got into character.
With the hat and the
Yeah,
the little screen,
yeah.
like the mesh the thing that comes
Yeah.
over it.
There's this new thing on YouTube that or people are saying, I think it's on TikTok, pandas don't exist. Have you seen this?
What?
Oh, what?
Google
I've
it.
seen one in my life.
Or YouTube it or TikTok. It's this thing that's just going around. It's viral. And it's pandas don't really exist.
So what are they? What are we looking at?
I
Are they
don't deep
just
dive in that
bears? Are they
bullshit.
just bears that are?
I don't know how this started or where it's going, but they're saying pandas don't exist.
Wow.
Right? You'll see it, Meryl. It's like this
Camel
weird
case. Well, pandas don't exist. No, that's not it. That's very weird.
yeah, I just saw it come across my Google card. Like there was this viral thing going around, pandas don't exist.
That's very weird.
Apparently it's not too viral if you can't even find it with the ease, and I know you're tech savvy over there.
I mean, it's funny because I see a bunch of things that says pandas don't exist with a bunch of pictures and videos of pandas.
Yeah.
So
then what am I looking at
are
then?
they
I don't know
doing-
what I'm looking at.
Are they doing reverse psychology?
I have no idea. I don't know about this planet anymore.
Oh, Viral says it's because of a specific type of panda that stand up on 2 feet and look like humans in bear costumes.
Isn't that the sun panda stands up on 2 feet, doesn't it? Is it the sun panda that does that?
I don't know.
I don't know, but we're
Sort
going
of
to
like
find out.
gingery colour.
I think your panda stands on 2 feet.
Well, sometimes,
Yeah, she
Oh.
says sometimes.
Does he crawl around the floor? Maybe when he's drunk.
In private time, no.
Yeah. I bet you he does.
Damn, already divulging secrets. Wow.
I bet you his ass does.
Yeah,
He gets on all fours and he just
yeah.
Barks like a dog.
Right?
I was just going to say, does he bark like a dog? He says red pandas do it.
Are you familiar how our interviews go, Leah?
I watched Sam's. I haven't watched anyone else's. Sorry.
Okay, so maybe it's better you just watched his.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Why? Because she definitely wouldn't have come on.
I feel like I'm in like a work call. Like 'cause that's the only time I'm on camera is when I have to go onto like a Teams call for work. And
that's funny.
Okay, well, I hope this does not remind you of work, for fuck's
I
sake.
hate Teams. How do you like
talk
Teams?
into the mic, so I have to come bring it a bit closer.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, don't kiss
Yeah,
it. Just,
don't kiss it.
just
Yeah.
talk. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the interviews are literally easy enough, per se. We're
the
asking
interrogation, you mean? I mean,
right?
the
The
interview.
interrogation is easy enough. We're asking questions about who you are, how you were raised, how you view life, what you think about life, and we start with the easy questions of your childhood first, and then we progressively get more and more in depth as to what we're going to ask you based off some of the things you're going to say. We don't have anything written down that we're going to ask you. It's all going to come from the conversation at hand. Okay? So
Yeah.
don't overthink this.
All right.
Just
completely overthink this.
tell the truth if you want.
And lie as often as you can.
Okay.
Panda wants to know, can he have another Akai Force?
No.
No, Panda. The answer is no.
For us. I like how you said for us.
But it's for us.
No.
Okay.
He got one as an engagement thing because I got an engagement ring, and that's it. Unless he wants to get married to someone else, he's not getting another one.
Well, I guess it's been stated.
So there.
It's been said. Okay, I don't know if Scott's coming or not. So
Tracker Jack said he wants to
haven't seen
jump
him.
in and show up and take Scott's place.
oh, did he?
He
Yeah.
did not.
Yeah, send him a
Well,
link.
come in, Tracker.
Send him a link right now.
Yeah. If Scott was here, he'd be like, Tracker redacted legs. That dude only did it to himself when he shows up
Yeah.
here. Okay.
Wait, hold up, Leah. Can you move that mic down so we can see like your whole face? Is that? Oh, there
I
it
don't know.
is.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect.
Because at first I was
Yeah.
looking at eyeballs.
Yeah. Well, I think she was hiding.
Yeah, don't hide.
Crazy Rabbit said he'll marry Panda so he can get another Force.
Oh, well, there you go. I don't
Perfect.
know how you feel about that though, Leah.
That's fine. I don't care.
more the merrier.
Leah's like, I don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you ready over there, Mister?
Almost.
Not you.
Oh.
This one. Not paying attention.
Sorry.
Jesus.
I am. Hang on. Okay.
I just heard something. Oh,
Yeah, that was me doing a the
SOS.
the back call.
Okay.
Okay. We're ready. So, Leah, how old are you?
36.
36.
37 in September.
Oh, so you're older than Sam.
Yeah, I'm 5 years older than him.
Oh, you're robbing the
5
cradle.
years.
Robbing cradles,
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
You cougar.
And you know how to control that panda's mindset too.
Mhm.
God damn.
Sam
She's-
calls himself an OA pedo.
An OA pedo.
The
What's
hell
that?
is that?
Oh, do you not know what a pedo is?
No.
No.
Pedophile?
A
Oh, a
pedophile?
pedophile?
Yeah, so it's
Oh,
so,
pedo.
Yeah, pedo.
Yeah, so in
A
England we
pederast.
say a paedophile, not a pedophile, but so
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Pederast.
A pederass.
I think my
Yeah.
first question would lead to the explanation of what paedophilia is, but okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
All right.
no,
Well,
we don't-
shit.
we don't need to do
So
that.
you have some life experience on you, woman. So this,
She's smart.
This is
She
gonna
got-
be great.
She got it young
yeah,
so that she can mold it, you know?
right. Okay, Miss
Yeah.
Mulder, tell us about yourself. What was life like as a young Leah? How far back can you remember with your childhood?
My earliest memory is probably when I was about 4, maybe 5, something like that. And I was at my nanny's house and with my granddad, and we were sitting in the sort of conservatory, and we were having fish fingers, chips, and peas. I remember that. And I wanted some ketchup, and it came in like a glass bottle. And so I was, hitting the top of the bottle to try and get some out, and I wasn't really paying attention. And then loads of it came out. And my nanny, she's no longer with us. She was my absolute best friend. She was just insane. I don't want to cry this early on, but she was incredible. She was like a proper, I don't know if it's going to translate across the pond, but she was a proper Devonshire dumpling. Hopefully she was just a proper like local Devon girl, and she had a really thick Devon accent, and she was going, oh my god, Leah, you've wasted it. She was always on about like wasting money and wasting things. She hated wasting anything, and so she made my granddad eat some of the ketchup even though he hated it, because otherwise it would just be a waste. And that's my earliest memory of her saying like, well, come on then, Jim, you'll have to eat some. And he was like, I don't really like it, Barbara. And she was like, I don't care, you still got to eat it. And that's my earliest memory. I was probably about 4, probably.
And you remember the details verbally?
Yeah.
Like, geez,
Yeah.
that's amazing in its own right.
It's like watching a film in my head. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So you have brothers, sisters?
I have. So I'm the youngest of 3. My older brother is 3 years older than me, called Laurie. And then my sister in the middle is called Libby. And then I have a stepbrother called Ian and a stepsister called Claire. So it says 5 of us.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So what was that like growing up with siblings, and like, did you grow up with silver spoons in your mouth and you knew not of a different world or a different society?
No. So my parents were together until I was about 8 or 9, something like that. And my dad was a businessman. He owned his own firework company, very, very successful firework company, 5th biggest in Europe at one point. So I didn't see him a lot. He was away working crazy hours and doing silly things. So my mum worked there as well doing the books, but she was at home a lot more. And then they separated, like I said, when I was about, I can't remember, about 8 or 9, something like that. And then my mum then met Richard, who is my stepdad, who is absolute wonderful man. They've been together for however long, and he had 2 children from his marriage, called Claire and Ian. But we grew up in the same village, all of us. So I went to primary school with Claire. She was in the same class as me, so we knew each other as classmates before we knew each other as family. And so we just got a really nice special bond. And Ian is the youngest of all of us. He's, I don't know how old he is, 30 something, I don't know. Hang on, Sam sent me a text. Right click Discord and quit it, please. It will come through the mic. What?
Oh, you have Discord open somewhere?
I don't know.
She looks so confused.
No, he's got an Apple thing, and I don't know how to use Apple. all things.
It's probably on the bottom. You'll see.
Yeah, I think I've done it.
Okay, and right click it and then close it.
Yeah, I don't know. Looks all right.
Does it have like does it have a black dot on the bottom of that icon? Of the Discord icon, does it have like
No,
a,
it just
no,
has
then you close it. Then you close it.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, growing up was although my dad was very successful, money wise, we still live very frugally. Very much the what do you call it? Value of money and the value of earning was instilled in us very young. One of the things I remember my mum doing when I was quite young, about 7, maybe 8 or something. I can't remember. There was someone in the village who was selling little hamster babies or something, and we were like, "Oh, mum, we really want one, please." And so she said, "Okay, you can have them." We were like, "Oh, that's a bit weird. Thought you were going to say no." So we each got a hamster. And at the same time, Mum said, "I'm going to start giving you pocket money now, weekly," because we used to get it occasionally, but not on a regular basis. And so we were like, "Oh my God, like Mum's had a stroke or something, you know, like she's like something weird's happened. She's a different mum." And so she would give us 50p, I don't know what that is in cents, for about 70 cents or something a week.
Mm-hmm.
But then she'd already gone to the local shop to find out how much food the hamster needs a week, and it's about 50p a week for food. So she gave us the pocket money, and then we had to choose to look after our animals that we had accepted responsibility for, rather than spending it on ourselves. So at the time, I thought, you know, it's really cruel and really horrible, and like, oh my God, how could you do this? But looking back, that was a really, really smart.
That was a good
really
lesson.
smart parenting.
Yeah.
To say, yes, okay, you can have an animal, but it's your responsibility. And then this is your money, and it's your responsibility to put someone else forward, put someone else first instead of yourself. And that's gone throughout our lives, all 5 of us. Is that, you know, we're very money savvy and we work for it and we don't expect anything.
And that's why Panda cannot have another Akai Force.
Yeah, I am the CFO of this relationship. Yeah.
What was the music like as a child growing up? What were the parents listening to?
So we didn't have a TV until we moved in with Richard till I was about 11. So we had a record player and lots and lots of vinyl, and it would be things, Beatles quite a lot. It would be like The Clash, The Who, a lot of 70s, 80s stuff. And then it would be Nina, you know those, the German band. Like Elton John, just a lot of stuff that my parents listened to, I would listen to. But because we didn't have a TV, my parents' choice not to have one, we would read a lot. I would just devour books on a weekly basis, and I've kind of dropped out of that now. I haven't read for years now, which is a shame because I did enjoy it, but I was thinking you have to be in the right sort of frame of mind for it, and I haven't been in that one for a while. So, but I listen to audiobooks a lot. I still like books, I just don't read them.
Yeah.
You ever go get your memory tested? Because you seem to have like this innate ability to recapture certain things.
I can remember things that are not important. And then if Sam went up to Manchester this weekend, and apparently I asked him 5 times what time his train got in. I can't remember things like that, but I can remember my earliest memory and what records we used to listen to.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's because you attach an emotion to it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right?
I'm a very visual learner as well.
Yeah.
I'm a very visual person. So if there's something, you know, or like visual attached to it, it's kind of locked in my brain then.
Panda's like, why can't you remember?
Data, I'm just like, whatever.
Panda said, why can't you remember what time my train came in?
I picked you up on time, did I not? You weren't late.
What were you like as a teenager? What was it like? Who were your friends? What was your dreams at that time? Who were you as a teenager? Can you recall?
I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. I was bullied quite a lot in primary school and in secondary school. I had a few friends, but they would kind of be quite flaky. So I think I was probably used as a friend. So I didn't really have a lot of sort of like good pals or anything like that, and I still don't, to be honest. I find it hard to make friends and to keep friends as well for some reason. Anyway, that's another story. So I would be very comfortable in my own company a lot of the time. Books were a great escape. Music as well. I just listened to music in my room, and I went through like a bit of an emo phase. I think most people did in the early 2000s, when I was about 15, 16, 17, where, you know, I'd listen to like Taking Back Sunday, Death Cab for Cutie, you know, all of these sort of like emo bands. And like, you know, my mum didn't understand me and no one cared. And, you know, I was probably clinically depressed at that time, but
Yeah.
you know, they didn't have a name for it back then.
Do you have cranberries going in your ear?
Blue
too?
October.
Oh yeah, all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still love listening to all of that music. Sam can't stand it; he hates it. But I love listening to like old school emo music. I love it.
Yeah.
Are your parents still around?
Yeah, my mum and dad are still alive. My dad is 71 this year. My mum is 69, and my stepdad has my dad's 70 this year. My stepdad's 71 this year. Yeah, so they're still around.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys live close to each other where you can visit often and stuff?
Yeah, my mum and Richard live about half an hour away in the car, and my dad probably about 45 minutes, an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So it's still a tight knit family.
Yeah, I'm not very close to my dad. We've had I don't want to say too much in case he ever sees this, but we have had a difficult relationship in the past, and it continues to be difficult sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think that is?
I'd rather not comment, just in case I don't upset him.
Okay. All right.
Fair enough.
So you were saying about you weren't able to keep friends. Why weren't you able to keep friends? Is it because you were just too honest with your friends?
No. It wasn't because like we fell out or anything. I you know, if I'm friends with someone or if I'm with someone in a romantic way or whatever, I'm in it 100%. You know, I will give you the shirt off my back, and I don't expect anything in return. But I do expect some level of, you know, common ground or common decency or common respect, and that was just never repaid. There was one friend I had from when we were like 10 years old, and she, you know, like when we were much older, sort of, you know, 18 or 19 or something, and we'd be going out, she'd be like, oh yeah, we'll go into town this weekend and I'll pick you up. And, you know, she had a car and stuff, so I'll, you know, driving around, and then like literally like 10 minutes before she was going to pick me up, she would go, oh, I'm not very well, I can't come or something. So I go, oh, okay. And then I'd see like later on Facebook or something that or MySpace as it was back then, that she'd gone out with some other friends. And I just think like, well, what's wrong with me? Like, I haven't done anything wrong. And then I'm a bit like an injured puppy sometimes. I'll go back for more sometimes, you know.
Right.
I'm fiercely loyal, and you know, like I said, if I'm in something, I'm in it, and it's very hard to get rid of me. And I don't know what, and yeah, we still don't talk to this day, and it was overnight. So we sort of, you know, rekindled our friendship, and it was literally overnight. She just stopped replying to me, stopped messaging me, just nothing, and I still don't know why. It was nothing I did. It was just it
was her.
It was
yeah,
her.
it was her.
And,
It was her.
Yeah.
and the fact that you say that, I mean, this is just me
I'm
personally.
speaking in.
Yeah, I would love a friend that was like that. Like you, I think, well, just me again, but I would love to have a friend who was so involved with our friendship that, you know, it was unwavering and they were always going to be there for you. Like that's something you look for when you have a friend or a relationship.
Right.
Hang on, we are having technical difficulties. The video is the one that just keeps buffering, Panda. The audio is fine,
Mm-hmm.
but it stops and comes back. Like you guys are frozen now. Yeah, that's a beautiful thumbnail. We should have used that next time.
Oh, magically, he appears right behind her. Oh, and
Yeah.
now they're
And he's been there for a minute.
Oh,
Maybe
shit.
try completely getting out of StreamYard and then going back in. That might help. It's worth a shot. Or just put her on your profile. Jeez. Yeah, she was.
I like all the faces he's making in there. Just
Right.
freeze framing.
Whoa. Ah. Yeah.
And that was
Did
probably.
we just do the same thing
Yeah.
again?
And that was probably so unintentional too. Like it was freezing because the video was buffering for a minute.
We just made the same gestures, and then at the very end, the same laugh.
Fur in the routers. That's what Wookie says. He got fur in the routers.
And panda hair.
And panda hair.
It's real coarse laugh.
Coarse lie. Bear hair.
Oh, it's
Steve said he saw that
so
shit. He's like, I saw that. I
freezing.
witnessed it
You
again.
did.
He did. He saw it.
Okay.
How's that
Oh,
possible?
there
Yeah,
you
you're-
go.
Jesus, Steve. Okay.
I mean,
Simon.
the audio is.
I don't know what's wrong. I ain't got a clue.
Yeah, it's really weird. All right. Well, as long as the audio is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to see my face. It's fine. I'm tired.
Yeah. Well, it's still such a pretty face you have there.
Just
Okay. You were saying.
Yeah, I was just saying, I would love to have a friend like that who was dedicated to the friendship. I mean, that's what you look for when you want a freaking friend. It just, it's the definition of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I've learned over the years to protect myself a little bit and to sort of shield myself a little bit, but then I kind of feel like I'm not being myself because
Right.
that's not me. So, but I do have friends now that I am, really close to, and we have a really great relationship. And but it still does that's always been this with this one particular girl. It's always been like a breakup that I've never had closure over. That's kind of how it feels. It feels very much like a breakup that I've not got over with this one girl. Yeah.
It's so unfortunate that people we come across scar us so bad that we have to put up these shields now because we think everybody's going to do that to us, or some form of us think that we now have to guard ourselves and not be truly involved in anyone else anymore because of what happened. And that's kind of the downside about it.
Yeah. But at least give her kudos to, she didn't want to upset you, and she knew it was her and not you.
Right.
Most people would just look at people and go, I don't understand this person, or why are they like that? Or why are they being themselves? I don't like it. And then they want to judge you on it and tell you in your face. But at least she said, Leah's just being her. I'm the one that has the issue. Let me walk out of this because I don't want to hurt her or stop her from being herself.
Right.
So I guess there's many ways to look at it,
Yeah. Like I say, it's a long time ago. It doesn't usually pop up in my kind of vision, if you like, until I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But you hold on to these memories because it affects you.
It's a traumatizing
And it was
moment.
something about that made a person walk away from a friendship.
Yeah.
So, it would do you some good
If you had closure.
to hold on to it,
Yeah.
though, at the same time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's tricky, but anyway.
Yeah.
The breaks.
What was your first job you can remember?
I was a waitress in a cocktail bar. No.
Onward?
No, I was a waitress. I was about 14, 15, something like that. I was a waitress at in the village pub on a Sunday. I used to do 3 hours every Sunday. And I used to get paid £3 an hour in cash. And I did it for about, 2 or 3 months.
You were 13
About that, 13, 14.
and a
yeah.
waitress at a pub.
Yeah. But
On
it was
Sundays.
it was like a pub restaurant. So they had like a pub and they had like
okay.
a restaurant next to it.
Gotcha.
And
I
I
was
would just
like,
help serve like roast
dang.
dinners and stuff. Yeah.
That's legal in the UK to be
Yeah,
that
but-
young.
Probably not now, but yeah, it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess if we're talking back then, yeah.
This
Times
was
were
what,
different.
20 some odd years ago?
I'm trying to think what year it would have been. 2002, 2003, something like that.
Yeah, we're not too far
Yeah.
out of the 90s. Things
Yeah.
were, I mean,
Yeah.
people-
They were
Yeah.
just
They
changing.
were just changing
Yeah.
over. Yeah.
And then my
Just
first
converting
like
over.
proper employment job was at McDonald's. Actually, I did that for about 2 years on and off.
Mm-hmm.
It was all right. It was quite good fun, actually. I worked with loads of my friends
Yeah.
who I was going to college with at the same time. And we would just go out, get absolutely pissed, and then go in the next morning for like an open at like 5 in the morning or something, and still be pretty drunk and just, piss around. It'd be good fun.
Yeah. So you went to college for what now? Did you say?
So I went to college twice. Obviously, college is different in the UK than it is in America. So you have high school or secondary school until you're 16, and then college is between 16 and 18 normally. So I went to college first of all when I was doing A levels can't remember now. And then my family had the worst year ever. We lost about 7 or 8 family members in the same year, and it was just really, really horrendous. So I dropped out, and then I went back and I did hairdressing and barbering for about 1.5 years. And
So why does Panda's hair look so fucked up?
Why?
because he won't let me cut it. He
Okay.
only lets me cut it about twice a year.
Jeez. What an
When
embarrassment.
it's been like freshly done, it actually looks quite nice. But then he
It
just
Yeah.
throws
does.
it out and looks
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
homeless person.
Mm-hmm.
It's because he's a panda. You can't tame an animal like that. I mean, I guess you can in a way, Leah, but you can't totally. It's like Marilyn trying to tame the monkeys over here.
Sometimes you can and sometimes you
Her
can't.
Jane Goodall
just
just
give up.
doesn't seem to work.
And
So you went to barbering and barbering school? What?
Barbering and hairdressing for about
Mhm.
18 months, 2 years. And then I was a barber for about 2 years, sort of like early 20s. And then I went and worked in a brain injury rehabilitation unit because that's very different. I was there for about 3 years. My mum used to work there, so it was a little bit of nepotism, I think. Worked there for about 3 years, and then I worked for a charity called Sense, which is a UK charity supporting adults who are deaf and or blind or both with additional needs.
Mhm.
I was working a residential care home for about 5 years.
Mhm.
And then I can't remember what I did after that. Can't remember, some various jobs. And then I've been with Somerset County in UK, and I work for the council, have done for the last 9 years now. Currently a project manager for a digital switchover project.
Mhm.
It's safe, it's secure. Won't get sacked anytime soon unless I kill someone, I think. It's a good job. I work from home most of the time. I go in the office once or twice a week.
Mhm.
It's ideal. Yeah, I enjoy it.
What's I don't want to get political at all, but what's life like in the UK from your perspective? Not from Sam's, not from anyone
What
else's, but
aspects
yours.
of life? That's a bit of a broad question.
It is, and we'll just leave it as an open question.
I think it depends who you are. I think it depends. There's lots of variables. It depends who you are, what you look like, how much money you've got,
Mhm.
what color your skin is. There's lots and lots of variables. But in our sort of bubble, my family and my friends and my colleagues, it's a mixture of very conservative and also quite liberal.
Mhm.
It's working for the council as well, like local government. It's very fair, it's very considered, it's very transparent, which is probably why I like working there, to be honest.
Mhm.
But there's lots of red tape and there's lots of silly processes that really don't need to be there, but they have to be there because it's a council and because we're spending public money.
Mhm.
So our local politics, Exeter, where we live, has for a long time been a Labour representative, which is very sort of, I always get it wrong whether it's left or right wing. I always get confused as to, but it's very like progressive, very sort of like modern and open to things, and let's move with the times instead of getting stuck. So Exeter as a city is quite like that. There's lots of different cultures within Exeter and different communities within Exeter, which I like.
is the UK anything And I'm sure racism is throughout the whole planet.
Oh, of course
but
it is. Yeah, of course it is.
is it really prevalent in the UK?
And this is just your opinion.
Yeah,
so
you-
don't
Yeah,
worry.
From what you've seen.
Living in the southwest, it is predominantly white. When I went to secondary school, there was about 1,000 people in my secondary school, and 3 people were black, and they were all related to each other, and no one really cared. You know, like it wasn't a thing. But you noticed them because they were different, but not because they were black, but because they
They were
weren't
different.
white. You know,
Yeah.
because they're different. But I was always raised in a way that it was, I don't care who you are, what you look like, who you want to have sex with, or what you want to dress as. I really don't give a shit. As long as you're nice and you're not hurting anyone, then you crack on. I honestly could not give a shit what you want to do with your life, as long as you are a nice person. So, you know, Sam and I have got friends who are, you know, trans, non-binary, queer. You know, we're Sam's done a few gigs in like the queer community and stuff, and we're definitely really strong allies of that in our local community. And yeah, I just think be who you want to be, and I honestly don't care. And it's exactly the same with color, or you know, with racism of any form. You know, racism doesn't occur just because you're black or brown or anything. I think, you know, I can only be responsible for my actions, and if I see it, I'll call it out. I will always stand up for somebody and be their ally if they want it or need it. But no, living where we do, we don't really have a lot of. I don't have a lot of exposure to racist comments or to racist people, because it's just not in our culture down here. You know, in other places, of course, it will be. But I mean, my nan, you know, when I was growing up, she would call black people darkies. And now, you know, oh my God, you can't say that. But back in the day, that wasn't
It was
a
normal.
negative thing. You know,
Yeah.
it didn't mean anything horrible. And it was just a way to describe someone who had a different skin color. And she would never mean it in a racist way. She was very, very not racist. You know, what she said was very un-PC, but she was not a racist person at all. And my grandma used to say like Negroes and stuff, but again, it wasn't a, you know, now it's a very politically charged word, and you wouldn't say it because it's not acceptable. I don't think it is, but it was a descriptive word back then, and it didn't mean anything but that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
People change the context and make things
they
bad.
do. Yeah. But
Panda wants to know if he can paint the dog pink.
where is that on the comments? Hang on.
And then Gracie said, you have to ask the dog. Panda said we did. We just have to get the boss's approval.
I don't think dyeing dog's hair is correct. I think if you want to do it, that's fine, but I'm not going to do it to my dog.
Jeez, just put her foot down, Panda.
No.
Panda, that's
shut
a no.
your lips,
That's
you
it. That's a no.
embarrassment.
Yeah.
Or Joel,
Yeah. Yeah. So how did you take us through the first day you met Sam?
So I was on Tinder.
We saw the picture you saw.
Yeah. And I had been on a couple of dates with people from there, and it just been awful. And I don't remember where I was or whatever, but I remember swiping and, oh, it's a match. And then I didn't really think much. I looked at it again and thought, oh, whatever, and just sort of carried on with swiping or whatever. And then he
The
popped
look
up.
on her face.
Yeah. And then he popped up and said, hey, with like a kissy face. And I was like, oh, hi, I like your bow, because he had a little bow on his pants. And then I can't remember the conversation, but we just sort of started chatting. And I remember one of the questions I asked him was, what's your favorite condiment? And his answer was barbecue sauce. I remember that. And then we were just sort of messaging back and forth. You know, he was an Exeter. I used to live in Wellington, about 45 minutes away. And then we eventually exchanged numbers. And and I saved him as Sam Barbecue Sauce because that's all I can remember about him.
He says it still is.
It's not. No, his name in my phone now is husband. No, sorry, it's husband number one.
Number one.
Jeez. At least he made it to the husband number one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were chatting for, I don't know, about a week or so. And then we had a Skype call that lasted about 10 hours. And then about a week later or so, we met up for our first date, and Sam made a picnic. I picked him up and we went down to a beach. And it was the 14th of August, 5 years ago this year. And we sat on the beach, and I was so nervous, so nervous that I couldn't eat anything. I thought I was going to throw up. So I sort of like had like a tiny bit of a sandwich, and I was like, oh, I'm really sorry, I can't eat anything. And then I made him give me a kiss. And then we went to a kind of beauty spot sort of nearby. And we sort of chatted and stuff some more. And I picked him about 12 midday, and I think I dropped him back home about 10 at night. So it was a really, really long first date. And and then we were going to meet the following weekend, but on the Tuesday in between, his flat burnt down. So then he came to stay with me for about 3 weeks, and then haven't managed to get rid of him yet.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Didn't his apartment or
Yeah,
something
his
catch
flat. His flat.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
flat catch
It's-
on fire.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
flat caught fire on the Tuesday in between our first and second dates. We never actually had a second date. And we were like quite close by this point. We knew there was something between us, but we didn't quite know what it was, or we weren't really ready to kind of put anything on it.
Mhm.
So, we were messaging back and forth and ringing each other all the time. And I said, look, if you want to come and stay with me, I have my own house. If you want to come and stay with me for a couple of nights. He was furloughed as well because it was during COVID. And I was working from home. So I said, if you want to come and stay with me for a couple of nights, get out of Exeter for a bit, just to kind of get your head straight and stuff. And he was like, oh yeah, that'd be great. So he stayed with me for however many nights. And then he went down to his mum's for a few nights and came back to me, and sort of flip-flopping between the two for about 3 weeks or so. And then that sort of turned into a few months. And then we had Christmas together the first time. And
Few months turned into years.
Yeah, he moved back into his flat in January 21, and then we moved in together February 22.
I think that my flat caught on fire was purposely done.
Yeah, Gracie said.
I don't think it was.
That didn't give you red flags.
No, because I remember that we were video chatting on that morning that his flat caught fire, and he said, "Oh, I'm going to go and see my friend Jack." So I was like, "All right, see you later. Have a nice day." And then he texted me like a few hours later saying, "My flat's on fucking fire," and I was like, "Oh, that's hilarious," because he's got a weird sense of humor. And I was like, "Whatever." And he sent me a picture of it was a battery speaker that the batteries had exploded, the lithium batteries. And he sent me a picture of that, like all melted, and said like, "Oh my God." And I was like, "Oh my God." I was just, I've tried to ring him and he wouldn't answer. And I think he eventually picked up, or he phoned me back or something. And he said, yeah, this is what's happened. And he sort of sent me a few pictures or something. And he said, "I can't deal with this. I'm going out." And he went out with his friends and got absolutely annihilated, got really, really drunk. And then the next day was like, right, let's deal with reality now. But he didn't have insurance. So he lost a lot of stuff.
So he lost everything.
Oh.
How his flat was that he had his bed, like he had a kitchen, living room, and then a bedroom and toilets, but his living room was his bedroom, and then his bedroom was his studio. So the fire was in the kitchen living room, or kitchen bedroom as it should have been. So he had to throw out his bed, his bedding, a lot of his clothes, all his kitchen stuff, but all the studio stuff, all of this crap you see behind was mainly fine. It just needed to have a really good clean.
He was smart. He knew what he was doing. Wagyu said the dedication to burn his own flat down to seal the deal. And then he was aware enough to know, where do I need to set this fire
Right.
so that my equipment stays okay.
Survives.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so Sam just said I only lost a TV and an Xbox. I remember chucking out more stuff than that though, Sam. And then I bought him an Xbox when he came to stay with me. I bought him a second-hand Xbox, which is still going strong today.
You said something that was very detailed. You said you spent 10 hours on Skype or
For first date?
Yeah.
first date. What was the? Did
Well,
anybody have to go to the bathroom or take a food break?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
what does that look like?
So we were just sort of. I was just like wandering around my house with my laptop. He was running around his flat with his phone and whatever, and we'd go out and have smoke breaks. And if I say I need to go to the toilet, I just leave the laptop on the side and come back and be like, oh fuck, we were just. I remember his phone kept on. Maybe he was on his laptop as well. I can't remember. But his phone kept on ringing, and I said, "Who is it?" And he was like, "Oh no, it's fine, it's fine." Turns out it was his mum. He was turning down calls from his mum to talk to me.
See there?
Yeah.
The beginnings of love was
Yeah.
right in the
Yeah.
making.
Yeah.
Now, if you guys were honest with yourselves in that particular moment, and then you said something like, "You know what? I'm in love with you," because at that moment, when you spend 10 hours doing this little dance with somebody, let's call it what it is. It's.
I remember. I can't. I was a bit drunk the first time I said I love you, but I remember we were at home at my house, and we would have what we call like festival nights. So we would like pick like a few YouTube videos where it shows like a whole set of someone, and we'd be like, okay, right, we'll use this one for the warm up. This one could be like for the main thing, and that could be like for the cool down. Be like 6-7 hours long or something, and we'd just kind of drink and play cards and just like hang out and stuff whilst the music was on. And it was during one of those nights that Sam went upstairs to go to the loo, and I was like, I love you. And he was like, tell me again in the morning if you really mean that, or something like that. And so first thing in the morning, I woke up and said, I love you. And he said, I love you too.
Oh, you guys are so romantic. Look
It was
at you.
really early on. It was like 3 months or something. It really wasn't much.
But see,
we were engaged after 18 months.
But that's my thing, though. People like to put a timestamp on an emotion or a feeling when it could be fucking an hour, right? You're going to deny that feeling because you need to say, oh, it has to have a timestamp on it. I think a lot of people count themselves out on something that's real, but think it's because it's too soon. They don't want to admit these things when all the signs and symptoms are right there in front of your face.
Yeah. I think with both of us as well, we kind of went into it quite cautious. Sam had really been burnt by his previous relationship. Absolute fucking psycho, like just a real, I think he's only just kind of in recent years probably properly healed from it. I'm not talking for you, Sam, just talking about you. And, I've got kind of scars from previous relationships that I don't think will ever heal, but I've kind of learned to live with them. And I think, so we both went into it kind of very protected of our own hearts and kind of was thinking, if this is it, then are we sure it's it? Because we've both been burnt before, and, we've both been down this road and stuff. And, but then I think when we kind of both opened up and kind of just jumped in, we were like, this is right, actually. And this is just so natural and lovely and whatever. And, never have I ever kind of had any doubts or thoughts of, should I be doing this, or is this right? Or, talking to a girlfriend of, trying to get opinions or whatever. It's just been like, oh, guess what Sam did this week,
Yeah. When I think when you and I first had our first phone call conversation, it lasted a good 10, 12 hours as well. I think we fell asleep on the phone.
Oh, that's nice.
Did we?
Yeah.
I fell asleep on the road too.
Yeah. But that first night, I
sleep while
heard
driving. That's
snoring. I was like, I think you should go to sleep now.
Yeah. No,
like, no, I'm fine. I'm like, no, I think you should go to sleep now.
I literally got off work and called her because I was falling asleep, and she was like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna stay on the phone with you till you get home."
That was like 2-3 nights afterwards.
Yeah, and I was like, "Okay, good," and I still managed to fall asleep.
Yeah.
I had to pull over and recollect myself.
Yeah.
Okay, so you never got rid of Sam. What?
He burned down his flat, for God's sake. How is he
Kent
gonna
said,
get
the
away
last
with-
time I said I love you, the bloody thing wouldn't start.
Yep. Jeez.
The fuck does that mean?
His car.
Okay.
Uh,
What made you, or what, let's just speak for you, not Sam, because this is your interview. What made you say, okay, let's get married? Was it everything you just spoke of, or is it the fact that from the first day you guys met, that magic and that spark has constantly been there?
Because my parents are divorced, I think a lot of people whose parents are divorced have a feeling of, oh, marriage. The idea of marriage is kind of broken, and it's not what it's cracked up to be. And sometimes you're sort of damaged by that as a child, and then you sort of take that through adulthood. And Sam's parents are divorced as well, and so I think, again, not speaking for him, I don't know, we haven't discussed it, but I think we maybe came from similar sort of mindsets of not sure if marriage is all it's cracked up to be, because we have seen how horribly wrong it can go.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never really been one to romanticize getting married or having the big white wedding or anything like that. To me, marriage is really serious, and it's something not to be taken lightly at all. And so I never really had those feelings of like, oh, I'm going to marry him, or like, oh, whatever. But when he proposed, which is another story, it's like something sort of clicked in my head and in my heart, and and I kind of thought like, yeah, okay, well, let's do it. And then we've been planning it for a couple of years now, not because it's taken so long to plan, but because we thought there's no rush. And yeah, the closer we get to it, I've got a countdown on my phone. Hang on, I can tell you exactly how many days. 146 days.
146 days.
Yeah. Like it's a mixture of like nerves and excitement. And we went back to the place that we are having our reception, I don't know, about 6 months after we got engaged. And he took my engagement ring off. We were sat in the pub garden, and we took my engagement ring off. I said, what are you doing? And he put it back on, and we were with his family, and he mouthed to me like, with this ring, I can't say it. With this ring I wed. And I just started crying. And it's just right. And someone at work the other day actually said, why, I understand you're getting married, but why are you getting married? And I sort of thought, well, that's one, that's none of your business, and two, I don't know. So I got home and I said to Sam, I said, oh, my colleague said, why are we getting married? Like, well, what's your answer for that? And he said, because we love each other. And he said, because we love each other, and because we want to make that ultimate promise to each other in front of all of our family. And I was like, well, yeah, that's kind of it. It's doesn't really go much deeper than that.
Yeah.
But no, there wasn't really any kind of thunderbolt moment of, oh, I'm going to marry this man or anything like that. It was just I just said yes when he asked.
I guess when you're committed, right? And you have to have that piece of paper to say it or prove it. Wookie has said, Mrs. W and I planned ours for 40 years. Never quite happened.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and I bet nothing changed.
You don't need a piece of paper to know that someone's going to be with you the rest of your life.
No,
I don't.
Yeah, and
it makes it easier legally wise.
Yes,
Yeah.
Right,
Leah,
yeah.
that's what I was going to say, because I think
Yeah.
Uncle Chrome had a question: is there tax advantages to marriage in the UK like here?
No, there is, but we don't fit into that category.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
for the rich.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's for if one person was earning less than such and such, and one person was earning more than such and such. Like as in if I was like a mum staying at home or something, and Sam was out, earning the household wage, then there would be a tax thing there. But no, not. We both earn pretty much the same, so no.
oh, gotcha.
Yep. But no, it would just be, it's easier for wills and for pensions and things like that. But yeah, that's not the reason we're doing it. We're doing it because we want to be a unit and a team, written not only in law but written in a promise in front of our friends and family as well, which family is the most important thing to both of us. And that's why when we said about getting married, we said we'd just have a family there, because they are what makes us.
Sam has a question. What's your
What's your side of the panda head story? So he's referring to the same question that Gracie had, which is the panda head.
Would there be a prenup?
We didn't do that.
It comes in with some wild ass shit.
Wild shit.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off, but this dude drives me crazy sometimes. Go ahead.
Wait, will there be a prenup?
Wait, but yeah,
She said no. She said no.
We don't do that here.
All right.
So it's the story that Inky told about Panda and the panda head. Sam told it when we interviewed him. So Gracie's like, I'm curious on Leah's side of that story.
I don't remember what the story was.
I guess that his panda head got stuck or something like that.
That was annoying. Yeah, no, I just remember like feelings of like disdain towards that. Like, it's not a very nice story. Like, I think he was in here doing whatever he does in here, and then he's like, Leah, come and help me. So I came in from the lounge, and he was like, I'm stuck. I was like, fuck's sake, like, get up. And then he was trying to like pull it. I was trying to pull it. And I was like, get your hands down. And he had his headphones stuck. And so I managed to unhook the headphones and got it out. And I was just like, you fucking idiot. And just walked out. That was basically it.
Well, why couldn't he? So
it wasn't a romantic story at all.
He couldn't get it off because why? Was it user error?
No, well, he had some headphones on, and then he put his panda hat on top of him, and then the headphones kind of slid down around around his thing, okay. I think, and then he couldn't get it off. Yeah, and he was like,
damn it, Sam.
Was he drinking?
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are getting married. I could see the excitement on your face every time you speak about this man, or your marriage coming up in 143 days, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm more looking forward to the honeymoon at this point, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, I
a nice holiday afterwards.
Yeah, which will be in Africa, right?
Off the coast of Africa. Yeah, we're going to Cape Verde.
A cruise? Is it a cruise or
no? It's a very small island. 10 nights, 5 stars, all inclusive, adults only, no kids running around.
Very nice.
It's just going to be 10 days of getting drunk and eating loads of food and getting a tan, basically.
Yeah.
Nope.
Playing cards, going out for like evening entertainment. We've got a couple of like day trips that I want to book as well. And one of them is like going on a party boat. You go on like a party boat around the islands at sunset, and you get food and drink and stuff on board, and you just get absolutely wrecked. And I just think that sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's your honeymoon.
You better have fun. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, no.
So we're getting to the 4:00 hour, the last hour. So we're going to switch gears here. This is the part of the conversation where we just start asking you a bunch of odd and wild ball things here.
Well, I guess this question is wild. And it's not wild, but I'm curious to know. I always wanted to know. Do you dig Sam's vibe in his music?
Not always, to be honest. I respect what he does, and I like that he enjoys it, and I'm always encouraging him to do what he likes, but I don't have to like it, and if I don't like it, I'm not going to pretend.
Right.
But I will always be respectful, and if he comes up with a new song, he's like, "Oh, listen to this," and I'll listen to it, and he'll go, "Oh, it's good, isn't it?" And I'm like, so sometimes like, "Oh, yeah, it's great," and I just, like, it's not something I would put on in the car whilst I'm driving around, but I know how much he loves it, so I support that. Yeah. And I respect that, the same way as, he's not into everything I'm into, because we're different people, and you don't have to like the same things, and we are wildly different. But No, but he likes what he wants, and he likes what he likes, and I like what I like, and we do like a lot of the same things as well. But there are quite a lot of differences in that.
Yeah, sounds like your household is the cure to humanity.
Go figure, right? Respect each other and love each other. And,
And have your differences.
And have your differences.
come in your common goals and enjoyment.
Yeah, who in the fuck wants to be with people who think just like them constantly?
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
fucking boring.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
like sometimes like he's a proper like party animal, I would say, and I'm very much like a homebody. I like, I like going out sometimes, but I like being home by 10. And I think maybe it's because I'm older. I don't know, but
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works though. It works, so I'm not going to bother questioning it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
'cause
it works, it works.
Because I've always looked at, and ever since Panda came to our channel, I think I asked my wife, I said, look at everyone that comes to our channel. They all have their own ideations on life, and we don't know their religion, nor do we know their politics or how they live on this planet. But we do know one thing: they're here. So we're not far off from, this grandiose society where if we could do this and not know one thing about any of these people for the most part, it still stuns me how the world can't do that.
Just do that. Yeah. Panda has a very, very important question. He wants to know if you want
Seen it.
papadoms with dinner.
No, thanks. I've
What-
already put my order in.
The hell
We
is
are
it?
getting a curry. We're getting an Indian takeaway after this.
Oh, there you
What's
go.
papadoms?
A poppadom.
Is it a pizza? Is it a bite off Papa John's?
No, hang on. Do you have them? Hang on.
And then Crazy Rabbit wants to know who has the better farts.
Yes. Now let's get to the interesting questions,
Jesus.
Rabbit.
And have you seen Cressy at McDonald's?
Yeah, that was my other question.
Was it?
I'll cross that one off.
It's a Google says a poppadom is a thin, crispy, circular wafer, often made from gram flour.
Oh,
That's
big
typically
crisp.
served as an appetizer with Indian food.
Mm.
It's just like it's about the size of a dinner plate. It's like a big savory.
Oh, Steve just sent me
It's
a
like a tostada. But it's,
Steve,
like it's
Steve
got
just
air
sent
in
me
it.
a picture on Discord.
Yeah, they're really good.
Oh,
You put
right,
them
yeah,
with this
yeah.
chutney
Yeah.
sauce.
Yeah,
Send
like
it.
Sam said, like a flat taco.
Let everyone see
Yeah.
that. if you
Oh, why?
can.
They're from the UK. They know.
Yeah.
Not everyone's from the UK. Shit, we got-
Everybody but us is from the UK and Uncle Chrome. And Uncle Chrome knows what it is.
I eat them and it's good.
Wookiee's not.
I eat
The
them.
Wookiee told me what it was.
Icing is not from the UK.
But it's a tortilla. Imagine just fried
It's
crispy.
crispy.
And
It's,
you
yeah.
just put it in chutney. and
Like
you
a
just eat it.
tostada.
Really good.
Oh,
Very
okay.
light.
Really nice.
Is it?
It's
Very
very
light.
nice.
Okay.
It's nice.
Is it a fluff or crisp?
It's a crisp, but it's nice.
You know
Oh,
a
okay.
tostada,
It's
like
like
a Mexican
pumpkin, yeah.
tostada? Yeah.
Yeah.
Panda
It's a
said like
good,
a flat taco.
It's a good vehicle to take the curry from your plate into your mouth.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's what I
there
do
you
with
go.
them.
Kent wants to know who picks up the dog shit.
Me.
Damn. Whose fart is the worst?
Sam's can be quite colourful in their sound, but mine are the worst smelling.
Nice.
Well, there you have it, Rabbit.
And again at McDonald's, did you ever run into Cresshead?
I don't know. I don't know where he lives. Who is he? What?
Yeah. So
You don't have to know where he lives. You just have to know if you're ever in McDonald's and you see some old weird guy with a calculator.
Pale old weird guy.
Yeah.
With cane.
Just
Chances
I-
are it's a crest head.
don't.
I worked the McDonald's I worked in was off of the M5 motorway in the southwest, and I saw loads of those people. I can't remember any of them.
Oh shit.
One of them was Cressy, I promise you.
Yeah.
Probably.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
A rather important one. How are you doing with your health and your heart? I know last time or a few times ago when you were on, you said you were going to have like a recent doctor's visit or something like
Yeah,
that.
so I had that last week, I think it was. Can't remember, last week. Yeah, it was all pretty good. The consultant sort of, I had some tests and stuff done beforehand, and then she reviewed them, and she said that it's not doing too badly, but for my age and for the type of operation I had when I was a baby. She said she described me as a good senning. So senning was the name of the operation I had. So I was a good senning. But I've been given another medication to take. One of them's got to increase. And then, one of them's got to increase. I'm getting a new one put in, and then another one is going to be reduced. So it's just kind of finding the balance between. But I always get quite anxious before I get reviewed. And so I think that was probably playing into what I was saying that night.
Gotcha.
So it's actually really positive, and I'm doing really well. And
awesome.
It's just I'm being seen again in about 4 months just to review it.
Well,
And
that's
just make
good.
sure
Yeah, stay on top of that.
And this was something that you were born with, right?
Yeah. So I was born with a heart condition, picked up at birth, and I had an open heart surgery when I was about 11 months old, something like that. And in Bristol, which is still the leading hospital, certainly in the southwest, for heart problems in babies. And I don't know if any of the English or British, viewers or watchers, I don't know what you call them. Do you remember the Bristol heart baby scandal? Does anyone remember that?
I heard of it.
Yeah, it was in the 90s. There was two
Yeah.
surgeons that were struck off for allowing or causing deaths of babies unnecessarily, and that was my surgeon.
Wow.
There's
Damn.
That's crazy.
that's just a
very happy you're doing good.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yes.
Doing really well.
There was a question from Tracker Jack: Blur or Oasis?
Blur.
Blur was good.
Blur,
I would have said Oasis.
Yeah,
Biggest pet peeve.
Being late.
Being late.
Yes.
Which is a constant battle with Sam, because if
I
I say
can't
we need to
stand
leave
it
at 8
either.
o'clock or something,
Yeah, my
he'll be
wife
like,
hates that.
about 10 to 8, he'll be like, I'm just going for a shower. Oh, fuck off. Like, come on.
You always
So-
tell them an hour and a half
So now I say
earlier.
we need to leave at half, we need to leave at 7:30. So then he's
Yeah.
ready for 8 when we actually do need to leave.
Can you do Tracker Jack some justice, please? Why Oasis?
No, she said Blur.
Oh, Blur.
She
Why?
said Blur.
Why Blur?
I think Blur are better, basically. Blur are a bit more kind of rockier. I think Oasis has got. I like both, to be honest, but I was always a Blur person, mainly because Alex James is just the most gorgeous person I've ever seen in my entire life. Who was the bassist for the band, and I like Pulp as well. If you remember them,
Pulp. This sounds familiar.
Oh.
yeah,
No.
Jarvis Cocker. That was the guy who was in it. I met him once on a ferry. Yeah, you have to Google this.
Trumpton or Benny Hill?
I don't know who either of them are.
Oh,
My
Benny
God.
Hill? You don't know who
Damn
Benny Hill
youngins.
is?
Oh, wasn't he like a comedian or something?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a perverted one at
I'm not that
that.
old.
You just said you
Yeah,
didn't
she's-
know.
Yeah, but Benny Hill was at the 70s, wasn't he? Like
He
the
was
the
my
name's
favorite.
ringing a bell.
He was
I-
my favorite Uncle Pervert.
I think Benny Hill is timeless because they
Yeah.
just keep replaying them. So,
Yeah.
like, you really never
Benny
know
Hill is like
what,
Eddie
when
Murphy.
He,
Yeah.
like when his true era was, right? Like,
I mean, not like Eddie Murphy in the raw form, but just as far as like a
Let me
comedy
Google.
legend.
Hang
Somebody else had a question.
Panda said, "How the fuck do I know what they are?" And she doesn't.
Right?
Oh, him! I recognize him now. I recognize him. Yeah.
What kind of curry is your favorite?
I don't really have a particular favorite. Tonight I've gone for a shashlik.
Shashlik.
A shashlik. I don't know what it is. I just pick it. Anything with a bit of spice. I don't like anything too mild. But no, I don't really have a go-to favorite.
Okay. Kent says McVitie's milk or plain?
Milk.
Okay.
What's the difference?
I have no idea.
Like milk, like get like milk chocolate or plain chocolate, which is like dark chocolate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jeez, we
Yeah.
gotta ask the questions that are being asked.
Right.
The questions
Damn.
about
Shit.
Jesus.
Cheeseburger or fried chicken?
Cheeseburger.
Hmm.
Sorry.
Back, okay.
Wait, what was that sorry for? You think
I don't know.
black
It
people
was
just
like
like
an
fried chicken or
incorrect-
some shit?
incorrect
You think I asked that because I wanted you to pick the fried chicken?
Oh my God.
Huh?
Cra-
You goddamn right. I wanted you to pick that fried chicken.
Yeah, we were talking about racism earlier.
Crazy,
Now easy, high yellow Negro.
Yeah.
Crazy Rabbit said Marmite or digestives.
Damn.
Do you like Marmite?
I like Marmite. Yeah, I like Marmite.
Oh, never mind
Oh,
then.
good girl.
That question doesn't have any weight. If you
Very,
had told
very
me
good
No more
girl.
questions for you,
Yeah.
Jervis.
swim with sharks or eat Marmite.
Marmite or
Yeah.
death?
Yeah.
Marmite or death.
Let me see. Death? I'll take death. Truly, it's not permanent.
Leah, do you know what a Get Jervis is?
No.
It's
Oh.
a strange.
Sam-
It's a
Yeah, no, hang on.
strange lad.
Sam watches him, and he's got a cat. Is that the same one?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of in the background. I don't watch him,
Mhm.
but Sam watches him.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'll say, can we change the channel? And he'll go, no, fuck off. And then, and then,
Oh, well, because he's
and
Spanish
so
there,
I'll
right?
sort of watch him. And then I just remember the cat gets in the way.
Mhm.
And then I usually watch it for about, I don't know, half an hour. I'm going to go to bed. And that's about it. Sorry, Jim. I'm sure you're wonderful.
To be honest,
Hilarious.
that's why anybody watches Get Jervis anymore is for that
I
pussy
keep
of his.
telling him.
Yeah.
He's the only guy I know.
Everyone wants to see how that cat's gonna fuck his show up.
Yeah. He's the only guy I know that
Yeah.
can sit there and rub two pussies at once.
And get away with it.
That get away with it.
I think Jervis even sits there to wait to see how fucking Jackson can fuck his show off.
Yeah. Leah, what is your biggest goals?
Oof. I don't really tend to have goals. I tend to just sort of live for now, which is a bit of a wanky answer, isn't it? But no, I don't really have any goals. I just want to enjoy life, and goals this year is my brother's getting married, and we're getting married, and that's about all I can kind of focus on for now. I don't really have any
Wow, two
life
weddings.
goals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
my
the
brother's
family.
getting married end of May.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're getting married in mid-August. So yeah, expensive, busy year for my mum.
Yeah. Are you guys gonna have any kids? And by kids, I mean get another dog.
Yes, we will get a second one. And the jury's still out on which one it is. Sam is desperate for another Springer Spaniel, but my argument is that we chose a Springer Spaniel because that's what he wanted for Ivy. And so then I get pick on the second one.
Can we suggest? One?
Go on then.
A King St. Charles.
Oh, I love
Only
a King
because
St.
we
Charles.
desperately want one, and we're never gonna get another dog.
What
So
is
if
it?
we can live through
I need
you, that'd be amazing.
Hang on.
Yeah,
Look, if you look
it's a
up,
lap dog.
it's if you
Oh,
look,
my,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you mean a Cavalier King Charles?
yes,
Yeah, yeah. My auntie used to have those. They are very sweet. They are
Mhm.
nice.
Well, technically, I want a Borble, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
really hard to.
Either
No,
a Borble or
I
a Cane Corso.
I quite fancy a English. Oh, what was it called, Sam? And I forgot what it's called now.
Mastiff.
No. What was it? An English
Bulldog?
Spaniel. I don't know, something like that. Yeah,
Spaniard, Spangler, or Spaniard,
it's
Spangler,
a-
Spangler,
it's a Spaniel
Spaniard. I don't know.
type thing, but it's different. I don't know. I really want a golden retriever, but apparently that's not it. Oh,
A
an English
setter?
setter. There we go. Yeah,
Setter.
English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
English
Yeah.
setter. That's what I want.
Steve wants to know: do you want to have children?
I already asked that
Oh.
question.
Yeah.
Did
That
she-
was what she said. No.
Oh, I didn't even
And-
hear
No.
it.
Yeah, she said
No,
no.
we're not having
And
children.
then I said, not human, but dogs.
But-
I've got 5 nieces and nephews. I've just spent the last 24 hours with one of them, who's nearly 3.
Mm.
He completely exhausted me to the point when I got home, I had to have a nap. Because everything is just, what is this? What is this? Why?
How old did
But-
you say it was 5?
No, he's nearly 3. He's
Oh,
3
3.
in July. Yeah. He's called Lenny, and he's so sweet and gorgeous. He's I just love him. He's just wonderful.
That's the age
But-
that they start asking why all the time, right?
Yeah, and I love his curiosity and his
2 years old is when they start saying no.
yeah.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I was at my mum's
And then
house,
why?
and I said to him, I said, did you know that Nanny is my mummy? And that I came from her tummy. And he looked at me like, oh, what are you on about? You know, like, and I love seeing their little minds being blown by stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love it. It's
Yeah.
very sweet.
Have you ever experienced anything that challenged your reality, like an apparition or
Oh,
a
yeah.
weird feeling, or seen
Yeah,
a ghost, or
Yeah. So when I was very little, but I don't remember this, when I was probably about Lenny's age, 2 or 3, I was in a cot at home, and my mum woke up and heard me chatting away or whatever, and came to check on me. And this happened like for months, where she would wake up in the middle of the night, come and check on me, and I'd be sat up in my cot, wide awake, playing with my toys, doing this. And she'd say, Leah, you know, it's sleep time. You must go to sleep. What are you doing? And I'd say, I'm playing with my silver friends. And we lived in a house that was, I don't know, 500-600 years old. It was really, really old. And there was, a lot of history to the village that we lived in and the house that we lived in. So she was just a bit like, okay, we'll just go to sleep, you know. But it happened several times. And then when I was about...
Wait, stop, Leah. God
sorry,
damn
what?
it, stop.
Yeah, this silver
Let's
friends.
stick here for a minute. What do you mean silver
I don't know.
friends?
That's how I described it, apparently. I said, I'm playing with my silver friends. And my mum said, what do you mean? And I said, they're my silver friends. And my mum probably said something like, well, I can't see them. And I probably said, well, I can, or I don't know, something like that. There were friends that I could see and no one else could see that I would play with in the middle of the night.
Do you have
really old
any?
house.
Do you have any memory of what you saw?
No.
Well, I find that
This is just what I was told because I was really young. Really,
I
really
find
young.
that fascinating because that should have drawn a crazy emotional response from you just from witnessing.
No, I haven't. I've witnessed stuff, but that was the first kind of in my life. And a few years later, I was, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6, something like that. And my dad used to work away a lot, and we used to take in turns sleeping in the big bed with mummy. And it was my turn to sleep in the big bed with mummy. And I woke up in the night, and we used to have a hallway light that would be kept on, you know, if we needed to go to the loo or something.
Mhm.
And I remember waking up, seeing my mum walk across the room out into the hallway, and then thinking, oh, she's gone to the toilet or something, and then turning around, and my mum was there. And I remember like being a bit scared, and I pulled the covers over, and I told her in the morning. She was like, "Oh, you were probably just dreaming or something," and it was kind of sort of shrugged off. And I remember telling my nan about it, and she was a spiritualist lady, and she said, "Oh, it's probably just someone coming to say hello. You know, if you see them again and you're a bit frightened, just tell them that you're frightened and not to bother you again," or something like that. And I remember my nan being the only one that sort of really sort of believed me, and sort of, not that my mum didn't believe me, but she just kind of shrugged it off as a dream, because you do have funny dreams like that. But I know for 100% I was perfectly awake. And then years later, I was living in a different house in Exeter with an ex-partner, and I would hear my name being shouted quite a lot, in like a really like urgent way, like in his voice. And I'd, you know, go and find where he was and say, what's the matter? You know, I think it sounded like he'd like broken his leg or something, like real serious screaming. And he was like, I'm just reading, you know.
That's so weird.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Like that. I think that
What? Okay, so you've experienced 3 things that most people don't want to take the time to
There's
even
loads more as well. Yeah.
understand and evaluate. Let's just stop at these 3. Okay, not even the 3. We've already addressed the silver people. But when you saw the figure that looked like your mother by your bed,
or walked
Or
by,
walked-
and then all of a sudden
yeah,
she was there.
did you have a sense that it was your mother, or did you just think, "Oh, that's my mother"?
I just thought she's still alive, so she wasn't like she was dead or anything.
Right.
But I just remember like just seeing someone walk across the room and thinking, well, logic says that must be my mum, who I'm sharing a bed with, going to the toilet or going to do something, I don't know, something else. And then I turned over and she was sat right there, and I thought, well, you can't be in 2 places at once.
Right.
So you know, it wasn't a. So and then I just sort of got a bit scared that I couldn't make sense of it. And then I think it was later on, sort of talking to my nan about it, that it kind of dawned on me that, you know, maybe it was a ghostie or something.
So do you think you were scared, or do you think you were just like, I don't understand this? Because normally
Yeah.
if you're scared, you watch a TV show or someone's telling you a ghost story, which elicits a response of, I'm seeing a ghost. Now, if I ever see this, I'm scared. But it sounds like to me, this happened without any precursors as to why it was happening, and your brain or you were afraid of just because you saw it, not because you thought it was a ghost.
Yeah, I think I was scared because it didn't make sense.
Mhm.
Because it you can't be in two places at once.
Right.
And, to walk across a room and then be next to you at the same time, that's a scary thing to happen to a 5-6-year-old.
Yes.
But it wasn't scary of, oh my God, I've seen a ghost. That's really frightening. It's something is really weird here, and it's scary to me. I think that's probably what it was.
Mm-hmm. And then the other one was the whole voice thing, right?
Yeah, that would happen quite a lot.
So
That one's a creepy
at
one.
okay, before you tell us the next one, at what point are you telling yourself, okay, Leah, am I going crazy, or am I actually hearing these things? And if I tell someone, what good is it going to do me?
I think when it first started happening, I'd get really annoyed because I used to think that my ex-partner was just doing it just to wind me up and just to be an arse, but which is very in keeping with who he was. But anyway, but as sort of time went on and some other things kind of happened in that house as well, I was just sort of like, oh, I don't know. I'm very, very open-minded. It wasn't threatening. It wasn't scary as such. It was just a presence there, and I just kind of accepted it, and it kind of stopped then. And I think I'm not a spiritualist per se, but I'm very open to otherworldly things, and I think the scary thing is when you don't accept it, and that's when they want more attention. And the minute you kind of go, yes, I see you, you're there or whatever, then but just my nan, like I said, is a spiritualist, and she's always talking about dying, way before she died. And she'd always say, I'll send you something to let you know that I'm okay when I die and stuff. And she died 5 years ago. And I find feathers in really, really strange places now.
Feathers?
White, pure white feathers in really, really strange places that you would never think to find a feather. And it's always, when I'm having a bit of a tough day, or, when I'm thinking of her, or I'm a bit sad or whatever. And I just think, yeah, that's her. And whether it is or not, I don't care. It gives me comfort. So I'm taking it.
Is that something you two agreed on? Like, you actually talked about it, and then
she said she would send me something. I don't know what it was, but she said she would send me something. And there's a robin that comes in and sort of sits on our wall just outside the bedroom, the kitchen window, quite a lot as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And robins are known for that.
I was just going to say,
like that's a well-known mystery
but
there.
Feathers is a thing as well.
Yeah. So are you still seeing the feathers though in the weirdest places?
I saw one, was it last week, a week before? I'd been out with Ivy for a walk. I had my phone in my pocket the whole time, and I sat down on the sofa. I can't remember what it was. I sat down at some point in the evening. I pulled my phone out of the pocket, and there's my phone, and there's like a little case on it, and there was a teeny tiny feather stuck right in the case.
That's
and I think, that's been in my pocket for the last 2 hours,
right?
And I think, I haven't got feathers in my pockets. It's, freshly washed pair of jeans. And I just thought I was thinking of her as well. Because she lived in the same city that we live in. So there's quite often reminders of her, when we're out and about and things, or places that we went together, or, I don't live too far away from where she last lived. And so she's always sort of in the background there, but pulled it out and I was like, oh, there it is. But the weirdest feather story was we moved here, and I was packing up my house, and we were also sort of sorting out her house as well after she died. And she had these little pots, I don't know how I can describe it. She used to put soup in it, like to eat from, and they were a really ugly green colour, but I remember them from being really young, and I remember saying, I really want them. And she used to say, well, when I'm dead you can have them. I was like, oh, thanks, man. And so it was 4, one broke, there's 3 left. And I remember giving them a wash, wrapping them up in bubble wrap, wrapping them up in newspaper, putting them in a box, really, really carefully wrapped away. And they were in a box for probably about 3 months before we moved. And then we unwrapped them and took out, several layers of things. And then inside was the tiniest white feather I've ever seen in my life. Teeny tiny, like the size like a grain of rice, like really, really small. And it was in this thing. And that was about a year after she died. And that was the first kind of sign I'd seen from her.
Wow.
And I was like, we'd moved on to a new house. We'd unwrapped this thing that was from her house. I'd washed it, dried it, wrapped it straight away.
If that doesn't give you the chills.
Right.
That's
But
crazy.
it was so comforting. It felt like a hug. It was lovely.
Yeah, but you noticed it though, like
The tiniest.
you noticed it.
Feathers. too.
And I remember like crying immediately, phoning my mum and showing her on like a video call, and she started crying and then sank me. Oh, what's going on? Where's the feather?
Yeah.
But what do you honestly believe, though? Deep down, what do you honestly, without anybody watching or being worried about judgment or ridicule, what do you honestly think about it?
I think humans have energy, and I wonder sometimes where that goes. But I don't really have a strict sort of sense of belief. I don't necessarily believe in heaven and hell, but I respect those that do. You can do what you like. But I think for me, there must be something more than blood and bones. Because how do you have your own sense of consciousness? The internal monologue that's in your brain. Is that just a bunch of wires and synapses and stuff in your brain firing off at different points, or is that something deeper? And I'm undecided, but I know what I've experienced. I know what it makes me feel. So that's all I can go on.
It's funny you say that. Wagoose has a question: internal monologue or automation?
Well, quite. We don't know, do we?
Yeah.
I think that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And I asked that because before Risky died, he would always tell me his granddad would leave him. No, I'm sorry. His granddad. Yeah, his grandfather would leave he and his brother a bunch of dimes. And Risky would always find these dimes, but not his brother, Travell, because I spoke to him about it. And when Risky passed away, it was shortly before Risky's funeral, Travell found these dimes, like getting gas, getting something to eat. Yeah, these coins. Getting gas, getting something to eat. And he's never found a dime before in his life.
But I also think sometimes your brain is so clever and it protects you in so many ways that so like, for example, if you get a bright yellow car, you're gonna notice every other bright yellow car on the road.
Right.
You wouldn't have ever looked at before. It would have just passed you and you wouldn't have thought about it.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's sort of putting that seed in your brain sometimes. But yeah, there may well have been coins there all along. There may well have been feathers there all along. Maybe I'm just noticing them now. It's interesting.
But what's your gut belief? I mean, I know it's interesting, and I know our brains are very powerful things. And
I don't know. I honestly think my gut belief is really torn. I'm kind of in both camps of team science and biology, and our body is a machine, and that's all it is. But also, I have a feeling of there must be more. But I'm really I'm always weighing both of them up. I can't really decide which one I really belong to. I think I belong in both.
Yeah, I think Travell, he told me that he deeply believed it was his brother letting him know that he was okay.
Yeah.
But again, it's all designed specifically for the individual. And I think once they get that validity for themselves, they could give a shit what anybody else thinks.
Well, right. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I mean, but that's okay. If you look at it, if I'm playing the latter half, you can look at it as that's the process of mourning, right? You're now wanting to search for something that's going to help make the pain go away faster at the same time. But I mean, I think that's the conundrum. Is there something going on we can't see?
I think you won't know until you're the person.
Are you the creator of what you want right.
And it's easy for us to say that, but you'll never know unless you're that person that gets that gift. Right. Because you can do that Monday night quarterbacking shit all day long.
Leah, you said you have this feeling that we go somewhere else after this. If you ever thought about it or fantasized about it, what's your idea of where we go after this?
Or where would you like to go?
Yeah, I think that's me. I don't know. I mean, when I was younger, I used to go to Church of England. Not because my family were religious. It's just a choice I made as a child. And, you know, we were sort of taught about heaven in children's terms being, you know, like a fantastical place where, you know, no one died and everyone was there waiting for you. And I think when I've lost family members, it's been a comfort thought of, you know, like, oh, well, you can go and be with granddad now, or you can go and be with so-and-so now, or, you know, you'll go and see them now. But I don't know if I truly believe that, or if that's just like a comforting thing that I tell myself, that they haven't just died, that they are going on to something else. But I don't know. Like someone said in the chat, you'll find out when it's your time, won't you? But I think, you know, it would be nice to be reunited with people who have gone before me, but it also sounds really, really busy and cluttered. And, you know, like, is my great granddad going to be there? You know, we're not going to have anything to talk about.
Right.
So I don't know how it works, or if it works.
But you've witnessed some things, so you have tangible evidence for yourself as to something is not quite right.
But I guess at the end of the day, too, it's the beauty behind it is nobody really knows, and nobody's right and nobody's wrong.
Right.
No.
Are you afraid of it, though? Are you afraid to pass on? Let me ask you that.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I'm more afraid of missing out than I am afraid of dying, you know. So if I went before my time, or before, you know, before I could see things that I wanted to see in my family and in our family and stuff, you know. But yeah, so I have a bit of FOMO when it comes to dying, but not a fear of it itself. I've been with people and family members when they've passed away. Death's nothing to be frightened of at all. It's really beautiful.
What little messages would you leave Panda?
God, I think I'd leave like dog shit outside the house, and make sure he picks it up or something.
I know she was gonna say that.
Yeah.
That's why I asked.
Panda,
I knew it.
I think you got to go outside and pick up some dog shit, Panda.
You got to help your wife out here, man. Shit. She's willing to leave it on your doorstep after she dies.
Hey,
It is a very important thing on her mind right
I
now.
don't want to get to the point where she's cooking it in pie.
Look, I was just gonna say, it's only gonna get bad once she does start cooking.
Oh my God!
She hasn't gotten to Fiona level.
My cooking is dog shit sometimes, but it's not. I'm very good at cooking.
Speaking of internal monologue, do you find yourself thinking of the negative parts of your life more than you think about the positive parts of your life?
No, I think as I've got older, you sort of have different phases in your life and stuff. And I think now I'm looking at 40, and I sort of think, you know, all the stuff that was such a big deal when you're in your teens and 20s, and, you know, it's just, you look back at it now and think, why did I even lose sleep over that? It's just not important. You know, what's important to me and to Sam and to us and to our sort of network is each other and family and making memories and spending time together. And I see my family really, really often, more often than Sam sees his, not because they are not close or anything. It's just a different dynamic. And yeah, so family has just always been the most important thing to me and will continue to be. And everything else is kind of just a bit of noise sometimes. You know, you sort of you might have a shit week at work. You think, oh, that was really stressful, and you feel it on the day. But when you look at it in the grand scheme of life, it's not that important.
Wags had something that was very interesting. He said, I'm going to just paraphrase it. You can hear the thoughts when you speak them with your ears. So that leads to, if you're having inner thoughts and you're not using your ears and you're not speaking them, you can hear them quite as clear too now, can't you?
Yeah, but there's some people who don't have conscious thought, you know, in your brain. Yeah, so which makes me think it's a scientific thing. So yeah.
That's
I
a
wa-
wild thing, though.
It's a wild thing to say. We can think about it and hear it just as clear as words.
Right.
I'm curious if anybody
and it's not the voice you speak with either. Sometimes
It's not.
It's a
not.
voice
So
that's
when-
it's a narrator almost.
Yeah.
When you hear yourself, back on tape or something, you think, I don't sound like that, because in your brain, when you're talking audibly or in your mind, it is a scientific thing as well. Like when your voice travels through your brain, your bones in your body and into your external ears, it doesn't sound the same as someone stood there receiving the noise, the sound waves. So you don't sound the same as what you think.
There was a study done on that as to why people don't hear themselves the way that other people hear themselves. I'm curious if people who know two different languages, and the only reason why I'm asking, because it happens to me, do you dream in your native language?
No, not always. I am, well, used to be, I'm I'm a bit rusty now, but I used to be very fluent in sign language, in British Sign Language. And I used to dream in sign language quite a lot, but I haven't done that for a while.
Wow.
Yeah, I dream in Spanish.
Do you really?
Is Spanish your native language?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, right, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not all the time, but the majority of the time is in
It's in
Spanish.
Spanish. Yeah.
I want to ask. I want to ask one of the telepathy autistic
Tracker Jack says
children.
loop back.
Loop back. I want to ask one of the telepathy tape autistic children, people that are born deaf and can't even hear words or form an alphabet. What takes place in their minds? Like, what's the language or what's the loop or the feedback that they're listening to?
They spoke about that. I was just Well, I was just watching telepathy tapes.
Me too.
And
but what's the language if you don't know it?
So the funny thing is they know the language because it's communicated through the human ether, right?
Okay. Wait. Are we talking about autistic children or just people that were naturally born deaf?
They're both. They're deaf, but they have some sort of brain issue that prevents them to cognitively put things together. And when they did this study, it doesn't, when they're doing telepathy, it's no longer dealing with the brain. They're outside of the construct of the brain. So they're picking up all the information from the other kids that do it as well. And the fascinating thing I was telling her about was when they do this, there's an area where there's 4-year-olds that have their heel and they speak like 4-year-olds. There's a heel that has the 5 and like 10-year-olds. They speak to themselves. They don't recognize, they could see them. They can hear the 4-year-olds, but they go, oh, you guys are 4 years old. You guys speak like you're 4 years old. We're older. We're having these conversations. And then it goes up. The chain goes up the older you are as a person with that disability. And the study is crazy because they're like, well, how do these people know what language is? How do they know what math is? And the studies have progressed to the point now, it's just like they can get in their parents' mind and read their parents' mind, and that's how they learn their language and their ABCs and their 1, 2, 3s.
Right.
Because they're living in their parents' mind, not in their mind anymore.
But that's for people with autism.
And deaf.
Okay, but what about the ones that are born deaf that don't have autism? How do they know?
Yeah, I don't know that there's a study out on that. I'm just following this study.
So I've worked with people who are deaf, like, like just deaf, and people who are deaf with autism as well, for a number of years. And they're quite similar. So deaf, sign language is a language in its own right. It's been recognized here in the UK since 1993. It has its own structure, its own rules, its own laws, its own everything. It's just a language. And so I used to live with 2 deaf people, and I used to have these conversations with them. When you dream, what do you dream about? And so, well, I dream about normal stuff, but just in sign language. It's just in another format. And when I used to work with people who were autistic and were deaf as well, it was a similar thing. They would dream about, going in a car, or you have crazy weird dreams, and it would be exactly the same, but instead of having speech and audio feedback, it would be you were being receptive to sign language, you were reading the signs, and you were signing yourself.
That's really cool.
Right.
So when they're
Mhm.
thinking like how we would think to ourselves, it was
It's,
I know
it's a visual thing in their head.
okay. That makes
Oh,
sense.
Yeah.
It's a visual thing rather than like a cognitive thing.
Well, how
Right.
adaptive is that though? I mean,
Right.
isn't that a superpower in its own right?
When you could draw the pictures and have the visual. I mean, I still get visuals though. I get some kind of
right. We
I
all
don't
do,
know if
right.
it's precognizance type visuals.
right.
But I could think to myself, I'm gonna go to the grocery store. I can visualize myself getting in the truck, driving down the freeway, getting to the actual grocery store and shopping before I even go
Get
and
there.
do it.
Right.
So
Isn't that weird?
how are we able
when you
to do that? How are we able to paint that picture,
And not even
go
do
through
it
the
yet.
steps and not even do it? But yet we can also go and revisit the past
Mm-hmm.
with looking at a picture, smells, soundtracks, music, movies, something we've seen. We can draw back images and visit the past.
Very
I
interesting.
think Leah's got a blank stare on her face, like, okay, is that for me or is that
No,
for
no.
No. She said she'll be right back
oh,
because we have an imagination. Oh, good
oh
point.
we have a big
Thank you.
ass imagination.
Yeah, Wagyu
Right.
says he dreams in Japanese sometimes, depending on what's going on in the dream.
Oh, that's wild.
That's
Yeah.
right. Is he fluent in Japanese?
I don't know. Are you fluid?
Wags?
Wagyu? Yeah. If you visualize something you're about to do, you tend to be better when you actually do it. Athletes visualize
Yeah.
like that all the time.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's true.
That's true.
No, you can't bully Leah. Panda, stop it.
Hey, Sean.
Jesus.
Yeah, why is it that we do it better when we visualize it, but sometimes we can't perform
Is
as
it
we
because
see it?
you've predicted your own future and set the path for yourself?
Or you are set a standard.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to just follow that line.
Yeah,
You already
or
made
Right.
it.
or not just follow it, but do it
better.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
efficient can
Hey,
I
Sean.
do this?
I caught that live today, Sean. You keep doing you, sir.
Where'd you go, Leah?
Just to get a top up of my wine.
Oh, what kind
Oh.
of wine are you drinking?
Spanish Rioja.
Spanish what?
Rioja.
Rioja. Oh, I've never heard
Red.
of that one.
Red. Ooh, it's a red too.
Hmm.
You need to look that up, girl.
I
Oh,
am.
what kind of red wines do you have?
Cabs and Syrahs,
What?
Cabernets.
Cabernets and Syrahs.
Yeah, and a what? Oh, a Shiraz.
A Shiraz.
Shiraz.
Oh my God.
Shiraz.
Syrah.
Syrah.
Shiraz.
Okay.
Shiraz.
Tomato,
Tomato,
tomato.
Tomato.
Potato, potato. Marmite, love Marmite.
Ugh.
Dip your Marmite in, or dip fries in your Marmite.
Yeah.
It's Spanish. You know how to say it. Rioja.
Campo
Campo
Viejo.
Shiraz.
Viejo.
Rioja.
Rojo.
Rioja.
Rojo.
Does that just mean red?
Yes.
Mm.
Oh.
Rojo.
Campo Viejo Rojo. And you have to roll your R.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that.
that.
How did you pronounce it?
Rioja.
Raja? Oh,
Rioja.
Yeah, no. No, that's why I was like, what?
I'm sure that's how
Kind of
Spanish
Spanish?
say it.
No, Rojo.
What's Jervis going on about? And Steve, can you put the link to the telepathy tapes up again so people can click that link and see what we're talking about?
The Dixons would know this as temporanilo.
And I like the one that is Castillo del Diablo as well. I like that one.
Oh, Castillo del Diablo.
Yeah, that one. Whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
my dad used to drink that one a lot too.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah, Castillo del Diablo.
I honestly thought it was called Rioja. We all call it Rioja here.
Rojo.
I'm sure we do. I'm sure we do. It's not just
now
me.
you know better, and now you can teach everybody else.
Yeah, I'm sure it's Rioja. I'm sure that's what we say it as.
What's the Wookiee saying?
The wiki. Let me see. Everything you hear is reconstructed from
God,
have
that's
heard
it.
before. Some with what you see. Nothing is what it seems. It is all a figment of your memory.
Thank God we're not high. Christ, that would fuck me right up.
Right. So basically saying you've done this before
Mm.
and you're just like reliving it again.
Yeah.
Deja vu.
Deja vu. Yeah.
Dallas, I'm gonna pick your nappy ass head, my boy. I gotta pick. Me and Georgie's is gonna come over there. We gonna pick them naps with them Nap Buster 2000.
Yeah. Dallas had a Robert Owens moment.
And wait, and real quick, Dallas, per me and George, yo, you gotta read your chats, my boy. You can't look over them. We got questions pending. When you see Moser 505 and you
He's
see
too
George
busy
G's
making
in there,
music.
yeah,
you gotta read our questions, bruh.
yeah.
The bookie
Yeah.
says you build your world from your memory.
Oh,
That's true, though. I mean, I that is true.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at Leah and Davey and Vicky said it in the chat too. Like certain things that happen in the childhood have now, structured them in adulthood where they're a little bit more guarded now.
Okay.
Right? So those are past memories
Yeah.
that build their world now.
So Leah, where do you think you got your morals from? Because that's kind of curious to me.
My
It's
mum.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't get their morals from their parents. They develop it as they get older of who they want to be and what
My
their
mum
morals
is
are.
probably the most moral person you'll ever meet in your life. She is. I remember being like a kid, and if you saw someone in a wheelchair or someone that was, like very visually obviously disabled, we might, as kids say, "Oh, what's wrong with them?" or "Oh, what's that?" or whatever.
Mhm.
And her response
Yeah.
would always be, "Go and ask them." And so we
Yeah.
would literally go up to strangers and be like, "Hello, what's wrong with you?" in a really respectful, wonderful way.
Right.
Because that's how you learn, and that's how you learn to be accepting of others, and that's how you educate yourself,
Mhm.
and that's how you learn to not be afraid of difference. Because I think a lot of racism and a lot of all of that negative stuff comes from lack of education, perhaps, and a lack of awareness of difference.
Definitely. Yeah.
So my mum was always very much like, everyone's different. We're different as individuals. We're different as a family. That doesn't make us less than or more than. It just makes us different.
Mhm.
And I'm always very much, you see the person, not the difference.
Exactly.
And I think that's a real core fundamental value I have, and a lot of things just built on that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you think your morals are something that's tied in with genetics? Do you think it's a code within that person's bloodline? It's going to dictate who you are as a person?
No, I think we all have free will, and I think no matter who you are born to or which environment you are born to, you have choices to make, and you can choose A or B, regardless of how you were brought up or what your family taught you. You still have that choice to make.
Yeah.
And I think that comes into like the nature nurture kind of argument of, you can be born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You can, live a life not wanting anything, not being without anything, and still be an absolute asshole. Or you can have the same experience and be someone who's really loving and giving and generous and wonderful. I think there's choices that you make consciously or unconsciously that lead you to be the person you are.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Leah, before we leave, I know there's still a few more questions, but scroll up in the chat. Steve put the link to the telepathy tapes in there, and allow yourself to watch that and be involved with
I'll
this
pin it
new
in
study.
Discord so you don't have to look
Yeah,
for it,
thank
Leah.
you.
Yeah. But
So
go
I'm
ahead,
on
Lamar.
Sam's profile at the moment, so
We know what Sam's take is on it, but I'm curious what Leah would do. UFOs show up at every metropolis around the world, and they don't get out, they don't make contact, but they make themselves
UFOs are
known.
fascinating.
So what does Leah say when she sees her first real life UFO?
I've never seen one. I don't know.
No. Yeah, go on. Give
Just
it to
use
us.
your imagination.
Use your
now.
imagination.
Let's go.
I don't know. I think I'd just be, I don't know, probably have a panic attack or something. I don't know, but I really like watching things like on telly that challenge me and that make me think. I like watching trash as well, but I don't know, it's on Netflix. It was called, it's a really old series that they brought it back recently, called Unexplained Mysteries. It's an American series.
Yeah.
Unsolved mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries, that's it.
Yeah.
And there's people who have disappeared, there's things about crop circles, there's all sorts of strange things. I'd recommend it to anybody. It really kind of gets you thinking, and it's told in a really kind of neutral way. I think that's why I like it, because it lets you make your own mind up. And my conclusion is going to be different to someone else's, but I'm just very open and fascinated by other people's experiences and what they believe, and then I don't necessarily have to draw a conclusion myself. Sometimes the conclusion is I don't know, and that's okay. But I think if I saw an alien, I don't know, I can't answer that question. I've got no idea what I'd be like.
Yeah. Do you think you're ready?
Be nice. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you think you're ready though? Do you think your mind is ready to comprehend an extraterrestrial life form that just all of a sudden pops into your existence?
I think no, because I think the other life form doesn't exist in our reality. So how can you imagine it? So you see these pictures of long legs and green eyes and whatever else, but in reality it's probably not that at all. But it's something that you can. It's like trying to imagine a color that doesn't exist.
Well, I've seen those, but go ahead.
You cannot do it. You cannot do it because it doesn't exist in your reality.
Right.
So how can you imagine something that isn't real in your reality?
Yeah.
So,
I think about that. I think if I'm ready, we all talk about it, and we're comfortable talking about it because
that's all we're doing is talking about it.
And me personally, I believe that there's other life form out there, but
I think
sometimes
there absolutely must be. There must be. It wouldn't surprise me if they found it at all. It wouldn't be a shock.
Oh,
but there must be.
Right. But I always challenge myself and go, well, am I really, really ready to see something other than human?
Yeah.
Am
I really ready?
Am I really ready to see that?
Yeah.
Will we ever be ready?
I don't know.
I don't think you can. Like you said, you can't even imagine what it looks like. So how will you ever prepare yourself?
You might have already seen it and not known it.
Oh,
that's true too.
Yeah.
The wife swears octopuses are aliens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They are just so unbelievably smart
and intelligent.
Very clever.
So sensitive. Like here in the States,
it's illegal to operate on them.
Yeah, it's illegal to do any sort of experiments or anything.
Is it really?
Yeah. Unless they have to be under full anesthetic, because they are so sensitive that they feel everything and pain at such a tremendous level. That
how do we know that though?
I guess you're just poking prod like the scientists do, Leah.
Yeah.
Do you feel this? I guess you do.
How did we know that certain mushrooms, if ingested, would kill you?
Right.
Yeah.
Same way as exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, like just octopuses are just like fascinating.
I wonder if they were left over from a time before,
right?
Rather than being a current thing.
Yeah. Meaning,
I'm sure.
Meaning everything else was evolving, but that was there. It was it, and it
maybe that was like the OG,
right?
Could very well be.
Could very well be.
Yeah.
As smart as they are, they put an octopus in a jar. This octopus has never seen a jar.
Nope.
Within 15 minutes, it knew how to open the jar and get himself out.
They've used octopuses for octopi, whatever it is, to predict the World Cup winners as well. And I think one of them had like I can't remember, Sam will know because he knows stuff like that, but they predicted it right like 10 times in a row or something as to who was going to win.
There was
matches.
A documentary on Hulu, I believe it was Hulu, about octopuses. Fascinating.
Oh, I remember that one. What was her name? What was the octopus's name?
You gotta remember that
smart.
damn show and post it.
Oh,
she was so smart.
man.
People have to see
the way that they can change
and shake your hand.
their color and form. It
even befriended the
diver.
The
the diver,
yeah.
and they were teaching each other how to hunt.
Her name.
And they were showing each other, like, the octopus would go and kill food for the diver and be like, here you go. And the diver would show the octopus, no, it's right there. It's hiding right here. And the octopus looked at the diver, looked at the finger, walked where she was pointing and goes, right here? Nope, right here. Got it. That's wild to me. That's
Secrets of the Octopus.
Secrets of the Octopus.
Yeah. Fascinating documentary.
Another question. Love and hate, Leah. Is it encoded into us, or is it something that's learned?
I think it's something that's experienced. So learned, I suppose. If you experience more love than hate, then you're probably going to give more love than hate, and likewise the other way around. I think hate is a really, really strong word. I don't use that word lightly at all in my language. But I think that in some cultures and in some subcultures, hate is passed on from family to family member, from generation to generation. When you get sort of institutional racism, and there's been a series on Netflix. I don't know if it's over on your guys at the moment. It's called oh Christ, what's it called? I've forgotten what it's called. But it's about incels. And that family was a normal family, taught their children right from wrong, but they still they still made these choices that ended in the death of somebody. And so that goes back to the whole nature nurture thing. But I think love and hate it can be taught. I think it can be a learned behavior by your own actions as well.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful with children these days.
What you expose them to.
Yeah.
Last question for me, and it's an old school question my brother and I used to always ask people. Who is Leah outside of her name? That's a weird question. I love this question.
I love that answer.
Yep, I love this question.
Who is Leah outside her? Well, no one. I am just Leah. I am just me. I don't put on a front or a face or anything. What you see is what you get, and if you don't like it, see you later.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like a true
That
embarrassment.
is like
I don't know how to answer that.
Well, I think you
did.
answered it perfectly.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people who have huge egos. And when they answer that question Lamar presented, their egos have to find an answer. And when reality is, they don't even fucking know who they are.
Right.
I think the most profound answer, and this is just for me, is when that question is presented to me or anyone, when I hear people go, I'm me, I don't think outside of that, or when they just go, I don't know.
I think also, the sense of self is an ever evolving thing. I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And so therefore I won't be the same person in 10, 15, 20 years time. And I think if you can just accept that and just go with the flow and just become who it is you are at that particular time in life, then you're all right then.
Panda knows who Leah is. Leah is a fox Labrador, eats a lot, steals from the kitchen side, a bit dopey, but very lovable.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
That's something you probably didn't know about yourself or willing to admit.
He said that earlier on. He said that earlier to me.
It's like he kind of loves you or something. I don't know.
Kent has a question. When does Jervis come on? Are we
right after us?
Are we ahead? Because someone said see you in an hour.
No. Get Jervis said, sorry guys, get my Jimmy Jams on and get something going.
Jervis says 10 p.m.
Oh, okay.
So what time is it? Is that coming?
It's nearly 9 o'clock.
9.
So okay, so we still have another hour before he comes on. He's just getting his show set up.
Yeah.
Okay.
In an hour. Yeah.
In an hour. Okay, Jervis, we'll see you in an hour. Everyone, don't forget about Get Jervis show. If you like pussies and synthesizers, got to go watch Get Jervis.
Yes, you do.
And I'm a big fan. So, but I'm assuming Jervis already knows that. Kent Spong has a question. Daryl, would you like to read it?
How does she feel about her family home being destroyed by the Death Star just to prove a point?
Princess Leia, go ahead. Yeah, Princess Leia, go ahead.
I've never heard that before.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Gotta leave it to Kent.
So
That's too funny.
Leah, who taught you to love? Is it your mother? Do you think you had to be taught to love, or was that encoded?
No, our family has always had a. That's thrown me. I don't think love was ever a lesson. It was just a fact. It's always been in the heart of my family, and my family shows love in all sorts of different ways. It's not just said, it's proven, it's shown, it's given, it's, forced upon you in times when you need it and don't want it, but you need it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know if, no, I don't think it's not a lesson you learn. I don't, hang on, my brain's having a bit of a fart.
Yeah, take your time with the question.
Yeah.
It's a question we ask to
don't
people.
rush.
Some people sit and think about it, and some they have an immediate response.
Panda said,
To me, it's sorry. What's
No, go ahead.
Leah still won't put her hair in buns. Put that brass and brown number on and choke me. Wait till we're married. That's for the honeymoon. You've ruined it now.
We're just giving up all kind of shit.
No. I think love is something that you are either given or not as a child. And so therefore you learn what love is, or you don't learn what love is. And I was very fortunate enough to be in a family full of love for each other and to me. And yeah, I don't know.
So you think people are born without love unless it's taught?
I think some people are born without love. I think some families don't have love in them. And don't have respect in them, and don't have connection or respect for each other as humans. I think some people are abused horrifically as children, and they don't know what love is. But also if you liken it to animals, if you bring a puppy up hitting it every day, it's not going to know that hitting is a bad thing because that's just normal for them.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you bring up a puppy with love and then start hitting it, it's going to think, well, what did I do wrong? Because it knows that that's a negative thing and not a positive thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar with children.
So the only way to know love is to be taught love.
To be shown it as well. I think to teach love is to show it. You don't sit down and say, oh, here's the lesson in love. This is how you do it. It's by your actions. It's by your words. It's by your character and by your actions towards other people. It's not a sit down lesson that you teach each other. It's in what you do and it's whether you show up or not,
Mm-hmm. So it's not something that's instilled within the human genome. Then it's something that exists outside the human genome that has to be brought in.
I think biologically there is a nurture element, but nurturing doesn't always mean love. And other way around, love doesn't always mean nurturing somebody. You can love someone and destroy them, and you can nurture someone and not love them. Mm-hmm. But I think that being a woman, there is that gene of, like if you see a kid crying or a vulnerable person, I do anyway. My ovaries start exploding, and
that's very interesting. Exploding ovaries.
That must hurt.
And like if you see a kid on the road in the supermarket,
the nurturer,
and and you you're sort of on alert, thinking, well, where's the mum? Whereas other women and men may not have that radar on them. But whether that's I think that's just a biological thing. I don't know.
I don't know. That's weird because when we were at the grocery store, remember that gentleman in the wheelchair? Nobody paid him any mind, but I zoned on him and I knew his face.
He needed help.
Yelled, "Somebody please help me."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I crossed down the aisle and went down there. I was like, "Can I help you with something?" And he looked like finally somebody saved me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, can I have one of those watermelons in there, please? I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think, all the people that ignored him, maybe they had a childhood or an experience of upbringing of, you don't look past your own nose. You only care about yourself, and you don't look out for others. Whereas how I was brought up personally was, you look after yourself, but you look after others as well. And life doesn't stop just where you end. There's lots of other people beyond it, and you have to look after them as well.
So who taught you hate?
An ex-partner taught me how to hate him. He was extremely abusive, extremely horrible and nasty, and not nice at all. And yeah, that's the only person in the world who I actually hate. So
you really have to go any further than that,
right? So, but you were taught hate
from someone
but
else.
it was from someone
I was
else.
taught how to hate somebody through his action.
Wow. Now that's deep in itself,
Yeah.
don't you think?
Yeah.
And I don't use the word hate lightly at all. I think it's a really, really strong word that should be reserved for those who deserve it. And he deserves it. I absolutely hate him.
Yeah, I think people can definitely mold another individual, especially if they're a partner, a spouse, somebody who is supposed to be there to take care of you and nurture you, and then turn around and treat you that way. I think it can definitely mold you.
Well, half God, half beast says it's not genetic. You have to be shown it or by demonstration.
It is behavioral and not genetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or mimicked, not genetic. I think still, though, like for females, like how Leah was saying, I think there's still this innate instinct for that nurturing, that caring, that having to take care of something.
See, in my mind, when a woman is pregnant, the love for the child is then transmitted to the actual fetus in my mind. And that's when it becomes encoded into man
Not in
or
every
woman.
case, though, is it? Not every pregnant woman is in love with their child.
That's true. That's so true.
Yeah, you can't generalize that.
Given, we're not getting political, but given new laws that have passed, there's going to be more women who are carrying children who don't want it or don't have a choice but to have it. And you can't expect them to love a choice that they didn't make.
Right. What's your stance on why people just don't let people be themselves? They always have to put their impression on others, their way of life on others. This is how I run my YouTube channel, let's say, for instance. I need you to run your YouTube channel the same way. Forget your ideas, forget your dreams and your ambition. I want you to do it my way because it's the way it should be done. How do you feel about people like that in life general?
So I think people who put their beliefs onto other people's and expect them to toe the line, they are, what's the word? They're not jealous, but they are threatened by somebody living a way that is not theirs. So, for example, gay people. Someone says, I think being gay is wrong. Okay, that's fine. You can think that. It's not going to stop people from being gay. It's not going to stop people from loving who they love. But you obviously have, deep down, somewhere in your childhood or somewhere in your brain or wherever, you have an issue with someone being gay, and that is your issue. That is not theirs.
Right.
And so I think, what was the question again?
Why do you think people enforce their beliefs
And their will.
Because they can't live and let live. Because, like I said to you before, they might be taught that the world ends at their front gate, and and that is their whole world. And anything beyond that is weird.
I think you hit it spot on, though, with the whole them not being happy in their own world or in the choices that maybe they think they have to do or have to live by because they don't want to be judged or are afraid to be judged. And so there is that sense of jealousy.
I saw this great video on Facebook of people at an abortion clinic, probably in America somewhere. Usually is, to be fair.
Usually is.
Yeah, saying, like, oh, your baby, blah, blah, blah. And they were saying about, like adoption is an option and blah, 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 blah. And this reporter came up and said, okay, yeah, I see you're supporting adoption. That's wonderful. That's great. How many children have you adopted? Oh, well, I haven't actually adopted any. Okay, well, how many children have you adopted? Going on to the next person. Oh, well, I have 2 children of my own. Okay, well, you need to practice what you preach sometimes. If you are, really pro-adoption, which is a wonderful thing, and I'm pro-adoption, not that I support people who would do it, and I think it's a great idea. It's just not for me. But I wouldn't go and stand on a picket line and force people to have this perspective if I didn't have it myself. And I think religion comes into it as well. People say, in the Bible, man shall not lie with another man, but it also says don't eat pork, but people eat pork.
Yeah.
Regularly.
All the time.
Yeah.
We just did this morning. It was delicious.
Daily, yeah. And so I think if you are religious, again, I don't give a shit what religion you are. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. You can do what you like. But I think when you are picking and choosing the teachings to fit in with your pre-existing mindset, that's not religion. That is taking the piss out of religion, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've got religious friends who recognize that the Bible was written however many thousands of years ago, and so therefore it may not be relevant in today's age. I've got a friend who's a vicar, and she performs same-sex marriages because she recognizes that in her mind, she says, God loves everybody, and that includes gay people. Nowhere did he write, I love everyone except for XYZ. He said, I love everybody. Right. And that means everybody.
Right.
Yeah. You can't say everybody.
You can't pick and choose.
Yeah. And then have everyone except for.
That's
not everyone.
All of you except for you. Yeah. No. And with the experiences I had in church growing up as well, it was the church I went to was quite progressive, I suppose, and it was, it wasn't like it is written, therefore it must be. It's here's a guide, here's a guide how to be a good person, and let's just try and stick to it. Like, love thy neighbor, be nice to each other, but don't kill someone because they killed your mum or whatever. It's or whatever the commandments are. I can't remember now, but it's I think it should be there more as a guide, and it needs to be brought up to date with the current life, because we don't live 2,000 years ago. We're living right now.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
I sing beyond that shit. He said the need for cooperative framework necessitates the need for a degree of conforming of a belief about what's important and what's appropriate.
Right.
We gotta we do all these unilateral frameworks. It just fucking clouds us.
Well, I think everybody. I'm going to make a blanket statement here. Everyone wants to be themselves, but a lot of people want to fit in somewhere too. So you have to subtract something away from you.
Well, humans are social
most times,
right?
Right. Just to at least sit and have a conversation. You have to subtract something. But there are some people that are very smart but very weak-minded, and they will allow anyone to come in their domain and start changing their direction. They may have wanted to go somewhere with it, but someone who's really savvy with words and knows their way around of manipulating people's concepts, they make you see their way. You're going to take your thing my way. And if you don't do it 100%, you're going to do it 50% my way.
But that goes back to the wanting to feel a part of something, right? And accepted.
I think people need labels. I think a lot of people are looking for a label.
Yeah.
Whether that's in the spectrum of sexuality or identification that there are now, people don't like living in the grey area. They like to have a label because that brings with it a sense of identity and then also community. I certainly experienced that with friends that we have who are in like the queer community. You know, there's people who are trans non-binary and transgender, and, you know, and there's different combinations of different words that fit together, and that's how they describe themselves. And I just think that's wonderful. Well done.
Yeah.
Not that I don't care, but I'm not gonna treat you any differently if you are in this slot or in that slot. It's going to be exactly the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the end of the day, as long as you don't like force it on people and you're in a consensual relationship with, you know, somebody, and you're not hurting somebody else, who cares?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like people don't have to like one another. It's just a
No.
fact.
And not
that's-
everyone is going to like everyone either.
Right.
There's people I work with who I respect as a colleague, and I get on with them, but I don't like them.
Right.
And it's not because they have annoyed me or upset me. It's just we're just never going to be friends. We're never going to have that kind of relationship.
Right.
And that's okay. You don't have to force it, and you don't have to make things bad because of it. You just get on with it.
Yeah. I think it's normal too. It shouldn't be looked at as something that's not normal, or there's something wrong with the individual, or they have to be brought to their knees. You must like this person. No, I don't like this person. And that's the whole free will thing. Like, if you don't like something, move on.
Right.
Go to where you fit in, and go to where people have your thought process on many of the things, and then you'll be happier that way.
People have forgotten that they are the strongest thing out there. And the reason being is, like you said, if you don't like something that you're viewing, you are the ones, you have the power to turn it off.
Right.
Yeah.
Turn the channel.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to turn it off for you.
Right.
No.
Steve wants to know, what denomination are you? Are you non-denominational?
I am non-denominational, but the church I went to was Church of England.
So is the Church of England non-denominational?
I don't know. Hang on, I'll Google it.
She's like, I don't know. I just.
No. The Church of England is a denomination of Christianity. It was a church that was created by Henry VIII, I think, because he wanted to get divorced, and the don't hate me, I might get it wrong, but the current religion, was it Catholicism, didn't allow religion, so Henry VIII created Church of England so he could get divorced. I think that's right. I'll get told if it's not.
Yeah. Wookie says something. Don't force your. What do you say? I lost
don't
it.
force your views on me.
Yeah. Have you ever?
And that's the most important thing. He said, don't force your views
on me. Have you ever had someone, Leah, try to force their view on you and just say, you know what? Fuck you then.
Probably. Nothing comes to mind, but yeah, I imagine I've experienced something like that, and my response was probably, "Hey, you do you, and I'll do me, and let's just get on with it." Yeah.
So you stood up for yourself, basically.
Oh, yeah, probably would.
Yeah.
I can't think of a experience where something's been. Oh, I tell you what, actually, no, there was an example. I've got a friend who is vegan, and I was talking to them fairly recently about my wedding flowers. And I said, I think I'm going to get some silk flowers because then they'll last forever. And I don't really want fresh because they're too expensive. And we were just having a conversation about it. And they said, you know, to make silk flowers, they have to boil worms. And that's cruel. So I don't think you should do it. And I said, I respect your opinion and your choice on that. But I will get silk flowers, and I've ordered them. And you know, that was, but then I know that they weren't trying to force their opinion on me. That was just their opinion that they were putting across to me. I know them very well. But I remember saying to this person, that's a wonderful story. However, no.
Yeah, right.
I'm pretty sure silk is a natural thing that
apparently to mass manufacture silk, they have to boil worms.
Oh,
apparently.
to
That's
mass.
what they said.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's the same person that has a leather purse and goes out and enjoys a nice steak or some sort of animal.
Well, no, she's
They are
vegan,
very,
so,
very vegan.
So she
Oh,
probably
very
does
vegan?
have the
Yeah.
leather purse and just
Yeah,
doesn't-
No.
and she's the type that thinks that because she's vegan, she's not killing something. Like plants don't have consciousness, or fruits don't.
Right.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I just remembered this one sign. Oh gosh, I forget where I saw it, but it says, our beef is grass fed, so we're vegan too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, that is brilliant. It was a burger truck somewhere.
Yeah.
I was like, that is
And that's
great.
brilliant because
That was
Vicky
so-
is right. Vegans can be a nightmare.
Yeah.
They act like plants are not living entities.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
They-
Vicky said vegetables have feelings.
Right.
They
Like
do.
everything around
Yeah.
us is living. You're gonna kill something to eat on this
Right.
planet.
Even the shark has to kill a fish to eat.
Earth is a eat or be eaten planet. Even fucking fire eats oxygen.
It's
so
Right.
it's
You're
the
consuming something.
Circle
Yeah.
of life. I've said it before. I wish somebody would do a documentary film about it. Like there was one, I forget how long ago, but it was a day in the world without a Mexican. That was really good. And I wish they would do one where nothing living was killed.
Or hunted by man.
Anything. You can't kill a
See-
cockroach.
See how that fares
a
well for
fly,
us. Yeah.
an ant, a tick, a spider, nothing. You can't hunt anything. You can't pick vegetables to like nothing. What would you think would happen to our ecosystem?
There are people out there who only eat or consume like natural waste. So, for example, if an apple has fallen off a tree, they will eat that
What?
apple. They won't
God.
pick an apple. They're probably like horrendously malnourished and underweight, but
Right.
And I'm sure with a bunch of diseases.
or yeah, but there. I know
I've
that there's
never heard of that before.
there's definitely I've definitely watched something on YouTube about it. As a word for them, people who
fruitarians.
will- maybe
Steve
but
says they're called
they'll only-
fruitarians.
maybe they are but they will only consume things that are natural wastage.
I mean, that's that
You
you're
know,
pretty
so-
much denying
Oh,
your.
wait. What's
Yeah.
what's Wookiee saying? Can you read the Wookiee?
Silk is made from the
Pupa.
pupa of Bomix mori. They boil the pupa to unwind the thread.
We got to see what these
Yeah.
words mean.
Mhm.
Yeah, I need to.
I'm perplexed as to what the words mean.
Yeah, a fruitarian
I
is
want to
some
know what pupa means. I'm gonna have it on
Yeah.
my wedding day. Thanks.
pupa. Yeah. Go get yourself a nice little pupa.
Pupa.
A fruitarian is somebody that's just like
Eats fruits.
I get what they're trying to do, but they're denying everything about their own
Yeah.
fucking
It's the
species.
It's the reason why cavemen ate meat. It allowed us to be smarter.
Yep.
It's how our brains expanded. It's already been scientifically proven that red meat is responsible for our brain growth. And also heme iron is very important for the human chemistry set, which is also found in red meat.
It's the only place you can find.
It's the only place you can find heme iron. So
Bicky said, but if a fruit falls from a tree, it isn't waste. It would make a baby tree.
that's true.
It's still
so,
life.
so now you're robbing.
Yeah, now you're robbing
You're
the
killing a
baby.
baby.
Yeah.
Way
Now
to
you're
go,
killing
Vicky.
babies.
Now you're killing babies.
That's
Kid said,
hilarious.
eat in the dark then. Beautiful.
We did that once. That
Yeah, we
was-
did that in
yeah,
Vegas.
and-
Oh, the
yeah.
restaurant eating the dark.
There's a
Yeah.
restaurant where you don't know
Yeah.
what you're eating. It was an all vegan restaurant, I think.
It wasn't all vegan. Yeah.
And you eat in the dark. You don't know what you're eating.
Amazing.
I swear to you, some things taste like meat.
Yeah.
I swear I had a
I
piece
swear
of
I
steak
I swear I
or
had
a piece of like not like chicken, or it was some sort.
I thought it was like
I
chicken
don't know,
or
but it was
it was
man,
thick. I was like, oh,
But that experience of just eating completely in the dark really enhances all your other sensories, and then you're like, you have to find where all your
Yeah.
silverware and stuff is, and then the waiter comes and taps you on the shoulder, and then they'll tell you, okay, your plate is directly in front of you, and then take your hand and guide you to where the plate is.
And the fork and it's the strangest fucking thing, man.
It is so cool.
And you don't know what you're eating, so it's
Yeah.
kind of. I was sketched out a little bit because I was like, why? Why am I doing this?
Were they wearing infrared goggles?
And I bet
Yes.
in my mind, I thought to myself, only
night vision goggles.
only inquisitive white people do this.
Yes,
right. This
yes.
is what I was thinking in my mind.
Never happens in a black man's home.
Well, and then I made some jokes while we were in there and had people laugh. And then I was like, wait, I detected a black man's voice. And I said, is there a black man in here? Right? You remember? Somebody said, yeah, I'm sitting right here.
Well, I would have said, I really can't see your ass then.
Well, I really ain't going to see, but I was like, okay, let's take the eat in here then. It's fine. Let's go.
And then after the whole dinner thing is over, they turn on the lights, and then you get to see like who was sitting next to you, who was like in the next tables and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you walk out, and the menu is posted of what you ate. Man, we were surprised.
It was crazy, man, and everything was great.
Paul said, "Wait, are you black?"
I know I'm a high yellow Negro, Paul.
Jesus, Paul, half of us is.
Caramel macchiato.
Caramel macchiatos, what the wife calls me.
Yeah.
The
Every
white side of me, Paul, left me inquisitive, but the black side of me had me fearing for my life.
And every now and then in the summertime, he might be a mocha.
I might be a mocha. in the winter, man, my brother and I get super, super pale. You can see our veins.
Yeah, I don't like that.
The only thing that's dark on us literally is our face, because it's the only thing that is exposed to any type of UV rays.
Yeah.
That is too funny.
What's the craziest thing you ever ate, Leah?
Dick.
Turn the music up.
Wait, better question is, was it panda dick?
Oh, good old bear loin.
It better have been
Bear loin.
Yeah, only panda dick you better have eaten.
Vicky said panda dick.
Oh my God.
Good God, Panda. What kind of woman are you marrying here? It's a good woman. It's a good woman. She said the most exotic thing she's ever eaten was a dick, sir.
We're having a wild time over here at S.O.R Late Night.
And it's not even dark outside.
Hell no, but it is in the UK.
We got to go from dick eating to pussy and synths after this, ladies and gentlemen.
What a nasty time.
Oh my.
Get over to Get Jervis and watch him stroke two furry pussies.
While playing the synthesizer and smelling his fingers.
Leah, I think you've had enough wine.
Oh my God.
I've only had a glass, pretty much whole glass.
So what you're saying is you're a cheap date. Got it.
Yeah.
Paul's like, oh?
She won't be a son, so
As he yells like,
Wait, Panda says she never said mine.
No, but seriously,
I thought we were being serious.
I've had ostrich, shark, kangaroo.
Damn.
I've had
You ate
shark.
a joey.
Wait, what's kangaroo taste
I
like?
What's a
had
joey
shark.
taste like?
You had shark?
Yeah, it's so good.
Can't remember what it just tastes like meat. I can't remember. Pheasant. We had pheasant the other
Pheasant
night.
is good.
Pheasant.
Yeah. Pigeon.
I don't know about pigeon.
I don't eat that city bird.
Wagyu said, Leah, there's a glass, and then there's a glass.
That's Wookiee.
Yeah, that's
Wookiee,
true.
sorry.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Jeez.
Jeez. Yeah. What's the drunkest you ever been?
Oh, I don't remember.
That's pretty good.
There was one night where the one that pops to mind was Sam and I went out. I think we were just going to go out for a pint after work, and that's usually how it starts, isn't it? And we were in town, and I just got progressively more and more pissed. And we were walking home, and we had to cross the road. We had to press the button for the lights to stop, and it was clear. And Sam said, like, come on, you need to wait for the green man. I don't know if you have that in the States, but the
We
little
do, in
green
some of
man
them.
that comes on. Yeah.
It's
And it
usually
flashes
green
and it
hand.
makes a noise and it means you can cross the road. And I very, very, Sam got it on film as well. He's the video, he'll probably put it up at some point.
Oh my God, he's uploading it right now on one of his apps.
Can we get it on it? Can we get it right now?
I can.
Okay,
yeah,
let's
as
get
soon
it
as
right
it's-
now.
As soon as it's up.
Yeah. And
Send it, Sam.
Sam said, like, come on, we need to wait for the green man. And I just went, risky. And then we crossed the road. It was funnier. They probably should have been there. And then now, if we go out, Sam says, are you going to get risky drunk?
Ooh.
Oh my
Yeah.
Risky
God.
junk.
Cultural.
And then I remember we went into a takeaway and I ordered a burger or something. And there's a picture of me and him. I was like, let's take a picture. And I took a picture of me and him, and I just look absolutely horrific.
Wasted. Cultural Ghost said.
Wasted.
Cultural
And-
Ghost said he loves honesty of drunks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I had that was, it must have been a few years ago. I probably haven't been that drunk since. I was a bit pissed on Friday night. Went to the pub, meet some friends. Friday night pub is like our thing.
Mm-hmm.
I take the dog out for a walk, and then I go to the pub and meet some friends. And I had about 5 pints, came home, had a wine. I came on and spoke to you guys for a little bit, didn't I?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
Oh
You
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then I went,
He was like, oh yeah, I
Yeah,
did that.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, drinking is definitely a big culture thing over here. Go to the pub for a pint. You know, it's sort of a thing of, if a cup of tea doesn't solve it, just go down the pub.
Get on the pub.
Hey, I Sing said he ate horse. Isn't like that a delicacy in
I think I've had
France?
horse. Well, yeah, I think so. Yeah. But there was also a scandal in the UK, years ago, where some like pre-made lasagnas from a certain shop were being made with horse meat rather than beef.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
But I don't know if it was ever proven or if
Jeez.
it's just a rumor. I don't know. I can't remember that.
Okay, Wookie says in France, horse as steak tartare.
Ooh, no thanks.
Oh, I love steak tartare. I love that. That's very
I can
nice.
do like sushi,
you had
like
snails?
tartare, but
had- If you had
No.
snails, if you had
No.
escargot,
Escargot.
that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
That's very nice.
Wagyu said you can get horse in every supermarket in Switzerland.
What?
yeah, that
He's
that
good
guy that we
Switzerland,
watched, we watched a guy, and he went to.
Oh yeah.
He was in
yeah.
Switzerland, right?
Yeah.
And he went to the restaurant.
Harold approves.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he tried horse for the first time.
Yeah.
I tell you what I like is haggis.
Oh,
Really?
Scotty's not here.
Yeah.
Love
I'm
haggis.
glad Scotty's not here to hear that.
I gotta.
He'll be like, "Oh, that's right, Leah."
My dad is Scottish, and black pudding as well. I love black pudding.
Ah.
Is that blood? Is that literally
Yeah.
blood?
blood sausage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blood
Okay, and-
pudding.
Enough
Call it?
about.
Do you have the video of this?
Yeah, I'm still waiting for it to.
Sam, send the.
He's uploading it.
Okay.
Somebody
Oh,
said
it's an actual motion video,
Yeah.
not just a picture.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
some-
it's an actual
Okay.
video.
Somebody said you can tell Sam is uploading a video because
gone.
Leah's video went to shit.
Yeah, pixelated.
It
Oh,
was
yeah.
Uncle Chrome wants to know where is the strangest place you woke up?
In a field in France, 10 meters away from my tent, next to a French boy.
Good God, Leah.
Jeez.
Hello.
Panda said on a dick.
Oh,
On a dick.
damn.
Oh,
That's probably just, or like
jeez.
I've woken up on the toilet as well.
Oh shit.
I was at a
Oh,
house
man.
party. I got I was really young. I was about 17 or something. Got horrendously drunk. Fell asleep on the toilet whilst having a wee. And about 4 hours later, I woke up. I was like, oh, okay.
Did you finish your
Carry
weed
on.
when you woke up? Did you finish your piss when you woke up?
I think I finished it hours ago. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uncle Crumb said no hesitation on that answer.
Right. Yeah. She knows, Chrome. She knows.
She knew immediately which one it was. Oh my God.
But as long as you don't get yourself in any type of danger or put yourself in a dangerous
Just
situation.
I have been in really, really sketchy, dangerous situations.
No,
but
of course you have.
you live and learn, don't you?
Like what? Like what? Tell us.
She said, well, like last night when I went out.
No, I was looking after my nephew last night. I was in bed by 10 o'clock. So I remember once it was, I don't know. I'm really crap with timelines. So it was at some point in my life. I was looking for a housemate, and I was looking to live in Exeter, and I saw an advert online of somebody who was looking for a flatmate. And so I messaged him, and the flat was in a nice location, the price was right, blah blah blah. We chatted for a little bit and realized we had a couple of friends in common. So I spoke to these friends and said, like, what's he like? Is he a weirdo? Is he all right? Just sort of getting a bit of a scope. And they said, no, he's fine. So I was like, okay, fine. So I agreed that I would go over and see the flat one evening after work. And I get in there and there's candles everywhere. And he's like really sweaty. I remember that. And there was 2 glasses of wine already poured on the coffee table. And he said, "Oh, here's this one's yours," and was very insistent that this one was mine. And I said, "Oh, I'm driving. I don't drink anything when I'm driving. I remain completely sober." And he was like, "Oh, well, you can just have a little bit, can't you?" And I was like, "No." And I was like, "No, I won't have any." He became very insistent that I had some of this wine, and I was very, very, very scared. So I pretended to drink some of it, and then I said, "Oh, I need to go to the loo." Went to the toilet, changed my friend's name to Mum in my phone, and said, "Ring," because she knew I was meeting her afterwards. So I said, "Ring me in 2 minutes." And I had my phone on loud, and I phoned, and she phoned, and it came up as Mum, and it was this whole kind of like GCSE acting of like, "Oh, my phone is ringing, I must answer it. Oh, it's my mother. Oh, I better get it in case it's an emergency. Like, hello, mother, who are you?" And I was like, he fell down. What? Like, honestly, it was like he fell down the well. And then I said, "Oh, I'm really sorry, I've got to go. I had to make it up on the spot. My brother's fallen down the stairs and broke his neck." And I don't know what else to say.
I thought she was going to say, "My brother has fallen down the well."
Yeah, I don't know.
Damn! Now you came out of the gate on that one.
And then he was like, "I know you're lying," and I was like, "Oh, I've really got to go." So I went like down the stairs to the door, and he had locked the door, and the keys weren't in the door. So I said, "Can you let me out?" I was really shitting I was probably about 19, 20, like really young. Shitting myself, and he threw the keys like at me rather than like to me. He threw the keys down the stairs at me. I unlocked the door and got in my car so fast. And then on the way home, my phone was pinging, and I got back home and or to this friend's house, and I had about like 50 messages from him saying like, "You're a bitch. I'm gonna kill you. I hate you."
My God.
And I just blocked him, and that was really scary from something so innocent. Going to view a flat. And I strongly believe he'd probably spiked that drink.
Oh, for
yeah,
sure.
Somebody,
100%.
Paul Holmes said drugged.
Yeah, absolutely. But that was probably the most scared I've ever been.
Oh, shit.
Anything. Yeah,
well,
it was horrendous.
Good for you with your intuitions, and you knew, like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, no, it was weird. And like he, like these 2 people that we both knew, I said to him afterwards, I was like, "This guy is a fucking creep. Like, he's really weird." And they're like, "He was fine in school." And I was like, "Well, he's not now." You know?
Yeah.
Okay, real quick, I have been summoned by the boss, and he says food is here, so wrap it up. Let me show this video.
Oh, is it here? Oh, nice.
Yeah, let me show this video really quick.
Oh, God.
Share.
Oh, God.
And let me know if you guys can hear it.
She's like, "Oh God."
Ready?
Yeah.
God.
Waiting for the green man.
Yeah, waiting for the green man. Hello. Waiting for the green man.
It's not green. It's red.
Risky.
So, do you
What
want
are you videoing?
do you want chicken?
Hello.
Do you want chicken burger or a kebab?
Chicken burger. Chicken burger with cheese. Finish.
No, no, we are not.
Oh my God.
Oh, Lord.
Sam
On
with
that
that camera.
Beautiful note.
Don't get drunk with Sam with a camera.
Thank you, Leah, for coming on. We
Thank you for having me.
totally
I've enjoyed it.
appreciate you coming on.
It's only clear we're going to have you back.
Oh, yeah.
But we got to bring the
Wait,
both of you
yes,
back.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe after we're married, you can do a quiz on what
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
there you
yes,
go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be amazing.
Yeah.
it's good.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
we're still working on plans to maybe come and see you guys as well. Won't be
Absolutely.
till like next spring or something.
Oh,
Probably.
it doesn't
but,
matter. Shit.
Yeah, we are looking at that. I don't.
Mhm.
Yeah, you said your nearest airport was Indianapolis. Is that
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
International, yeah.
The
Mhm.
nearest
That's
Indianapolis.
2.5 hours away, isn't it? Oh,
It's
We're,
2.
we're going, Panda. We're going.
Yeah.
About two and a half.
Mm-hmm.
because to fly to Detroit is about the same.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's just 2 hours
Mhm.
north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you want to fly to Indianapolis, not
you
Detroit.
do. Yeah,
Not
don't.
Detroit.
You don't want
Why?
to go to Detroit.
Because you don't want to.
You don't want to go to Detroit.
And you don't want to risk
You-
our lives.
Yeah.
Or yours.
You'll be on your own if you decide to go to Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You find your
I'll
own
bring-
way here.
I'll just get a car and drive.
We
probably.
can't guarantee. No.
Really?
No.
We cannot guarantee your safety if you go to Detroit.
If the electronic
Really?
composer was here, he'd be like, go
Don't.
to Indianapolis.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
So the
Mhm.
flights I've seen, you have to either change in Toronto or change at JFK. There's
Mm.
no direct flights from England. To
No.
There's no
Yeah.
direct
Yeah,
flights
no, no,
anywhere
no.
Anywhere in the
anymore.
States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything has a layover nowadays.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
We'll sort it out anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Get going.
All right.
I don't know how
Have a
you
good-
cancel this, Sam. You're gonna have to help me.
Oh, so yeah,
Yeah.
Sam. will do
Wagyu said, haven't you watched RoboCop?
Yeah.
Like, do you not know?
Go watch RoboCop and you will
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
Fucking the 8 Mile. Eminem talks about
Have
the
you
8
seen the 8 Mile?
Mile.
Like,
Yeah.
don't you know what Detroit means?
Yeah, don't. No. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right.
Okay,
Thank
thanks,
you
Leah.
so much, Leah.
problem.
Love to have you back.
You were amazing.
Thank you.
Totally
Get- yeah.
appreciate it.
Get Jervis is on in 20 minutes, everyone.
Yep.
Steve has put the link in there. Please go watch this man. He is a lovely person. It's more than just cats and finger smelling. It's actually
Great knowledge.
educational.
Yep.
Yes.
All righty, everybody. Tomorrow,
You have the fader too.
three.
Tomorrow we'll be on at 3:00. Yes.
Oh wait, no. Tomorrow you're working.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have a lot, so
Yeah.
I'll put it up whenever. I'll post it in Discord too, so you guys can have it.
Yeah.
We'll try to shoot for 3. Can't guarantee it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Peace, and more hair grease.
Even for your mama's niece. I don't even know what that means.
Me either.
Shit.
Peace.
All right.